And we're back. Obviously having an awesome day here at the ESL studios for the RaidCall EMS 1, the spring finals. $35,000 on the line. And to talk about the teams that are going to take off next, I'm joined with Warclown and, of course, my dear friend, Paul.
How you doing? You sound like you're struggling this morning, Sean.
I'm not going to lie, Paul. I probably should have left the bar last night when you left the bar. You can tell that you guys were smarter. You said a little bit sensitive. I hung on a little bit too long, and you can hear my voice getting a little croaky. So I apologize for you at home if that's happening and if that's annoying you. I can do very little about it at the moment, other than apologize sincerely. But enough of that.
Right. So
what we have now is what some people have said, and you guys have said, and I've seen it online, I've seen people talking about it. This could be probably one of the big matchups. This could have almost been the final for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, if you look at the draw, and we'd had a different draw, and you'd have looked at the teams that were in it, you probably would have said, okay, the number 1 and 2 teams here right now on form over the last 6 to 8 months are NiP and VeryGames. So for many people out there, they'll be looking at this going, actually, this should have been the final, in a way. But let's take nothing away from Fnatic. They've done what they needed to do to get to the final. And now we're going to have NiP versus VeryGames. It is going to be one of those classic matchups. And I hope that we get a great game. But my brain kind of says NiP are just going to roll through this one and it's going to be straightforward 2-0.
You feel they're just too strong at the moment?
Yeah, I do. But on the other hand, there is a little bit in my heart that kind of says, yeah, let's have a really close game, just like we had on the Absolute Legends Fnatic game.
Yeah, I have to say that VeryGames coming up from a LAN victory as well last weekend, and NiP being beaten for the very first time last weekend. I mean, hopefully VeryGames can build upon it and just grab that momentum and bring it into this tournament as well. If we would see Fnatic versus VeryGames in the grand final, that would shock a lot of people, and that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they've faced each other 11 times in Counter-Strike Go so far. All 11 have gone to NiP. It doesn't matter what map they've played. In fact, they hadn't played Mirage until recently when they played at Copenhagen Games. They lost that one as well. So that was the only map that they hadn't played them on competitively. And I thought, well, okay, maybe they're just really like saving strats up or something for Mirage, and then they're going to hit them with Mirage at some tournament, which they did, and they lost that one as well. So that didn't work. So it almost... There is no strong map for VeryGames, and there isn't really a weak map for NiP. The weird thing is that they match up quite badly for VeryGames. Dust 2, we saw a Nexus beat them here. We've seen a Nexus beat them at Mad Catz Birmingham as well. Dust 2 for me is not VeryGames' best map. But having said that, I don't think they want to eliminate it either, because it's probably not NiP's best map. They've already played Dust 2 3 times with them, and they've lost all 3. Train is a good map for VeryGames. They've got a great setup, 2 AWP set up on that. And I think the closest they've come to beating them was 16-14 ESWC last year, which was on Train. So there is an argument to say they might be able to give them a good game on Train. They definitely won't want to play them on Nuke. I mean, if there's a map that NiP love, it's Nuke, and okay, Virtus.pro beat them, but still, it's definitely NiP's map. Which then leaves us with Inferno, which I fancy VeryGames might take, because they've had 2 games with them on Inferno, and both 16-11. It's about the closest they're going to get to them. So it's going to be interesting to see what the maps are, first off, and once we've kind of got that, we might be able to establish where this might go, depending on how quickly VeryGames start. But they're going to have to start fantastically well today, and no mistakes, 8 games from everyone. Strats have to be perfect, timing has to be perfect, and also, on top of that, they just need NiP to have a couple of players who are having a slight off day as well. So that's a tall ask.
Well, speaking about them, obviously the guys from VeryGames have a tall order ahead of them, because there's this Ninjas in Pyjamas team that is so strong, come into this as, let's say, the favourites. Let's have a look at that team now, and we can kind of break down who's going to be some of the important players for them. This
is the NiP lineup. Exist, Forest, Get Right, Freiburg. Fifth Lauer. Freiburg's actually the odd one out. Actually, he's the only man in the whole of the RaidCall EMS 1 season that's had more than 1 ace. He's had 2 aces during the season. So odd, because he's not always man that people would pick out as being the top guy in there. Fifth Lauer hasn't had a great tournament so far, but he's been absolutely solid. I saw him yesterday. I think I must have been his lucky man or something, because I stood behind him when he had a 3-man on Inferno, and he looked really sick.
Oh yeah, no, it's with the AWP, wasn't it?
And then I walked away, and he didn't get a single thing for about 3 rounds. So I then stood back behind him, and he got another 2 kills. I don't know. I can't do that today, so he's on his own. Get Right and Forest, obviously, 2 of the greatest Counter-Strike players that we've ever seen, both in 1.6 and in CSGO. And Exist has been putting up big numbers as well. He's not to be underestimated. So there's no weak link in the team as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, it's pretty much what you were saying earlier as well. For VeryGames to beat them, they will have to have at least 2 of the players on NiP have a really big off day. And you don't really see that happening, do you? Like, we haven't really seen that.
And the thing is with them, what they're really great at is that they, even if Lauren's having a bad day, even if Get Right's having a bad day, even if Exist's having a bad day, the others all seem to go, it's okay, we've still got this, it's fine, we're all good enough to do this 4v5. So it's really demoralising for the teams, and that's why they went on that extraordinary run of 89 games. So I think they're going to bounce right back. I think we saw yesterday very straightforward win over I thought Kick put up a decent fight. I thought they didn't lay down and die, a bit like Imaginary did, who just sort of rolled over and just gave up in a way. Kick carried on playing every round seriously. They were cheering each other on when they won a round. They were cheering each other on when they got a frag. I think they put in a decent effort yesterday, but still, 16-7 twice is still a pretty straightforward victory. So I don't think there's any worries about NiP coming into this after their defeats 4 times to Virtus Pro.
I'm glad that you are talking about the Kick game, because obviously they played against Kick on Nuke yesterday, and I saw some weaknesses in NiP's play. They pretty much focused on doing that volcano push throughout a yard, and the second they got pretty much locked down there and didn't get any access to it, they were a little bit flustered around the map. They took a lot of time to reassemble the team and hit a bomb site. So I mean, if VeryGames can start locking down Volcano, they might have a chance on Nuke.
And that's only if they play Nuke. I personally believe they'll just eliminate it. I don't think they'll want to play them on Nuke, but we'll see. I think it's a good point. They might have seen something that you saw yesterday and maybe saw those weaknesses and maybe think they can capitalise on them. But for those people out there who are saying, well, actually, they lost to Virtus Pro, VeryGames aren't that far behind Virtus Pro, therefore VeryGames should give them a good game. I absolutely hope that that's the case, but I don't see it, because VeryGames and Virtus Pro are completely different styles of teams. They play completely different types of strats, and the way that VeryGames match up against NiP is, in my opinion, is bad for VeryGames in almost every way.
So obviously we talked about that there's favourites, but we should also talk about the fact that every team in here, the level is so super high. So let's have a look at the VeryGames lineup.
Yep.
Because
again, it's an all-star team, Counter-Strike source team from the old days. Existence team leader is probably the best Counter-Strike source player at the end, I would say, at least one of the top 5. Kenny S, a sort of late starter and then an early starter, if you like, for Go, has been sensational in many games, but he can go missing in matches as well. MBK's been fantastic so far. Yesterday he was absolutely brilliant. It's probably their best player. Scream, same thing, just headshot after headshot after headshot, but that caught him out yesterday against Husey. He was going for the headshot long at A long on Dust 2, and that ended up losing them the round, and in the end lost them the map. And Smith has always been very solid as well. In fact, he's had some MVP games at tournaments as well. So it's an all-star studded lineup.
I have to point out, Faz, as well, that Kenny S, before the semi-final that we just saw, Kenny S is the top fragger for the entire tournament thus far.
Yep.
So he is the go-to guy for VeryGames. If he can start picking up kills with that AWP, it's going to be a hard time for NiP to...
I think you're right. I think that's probably the key battle in the whole game is Fifth Lauren versus Kenny S. On paper, you'd probably go with Kenny S every time. It depends how well Fifth Lauren can cope with him, or even whether they decide to flip and put Forrest on AWP, or they decide no AWPs whatsoever. So that's going to be, for me, the tactical element of the side between the two teams as to how they match up together. And most of that will be dictated by the early play, and what map we get as well.
Well, guys, we're getting close to getting underway here with what I hope turns out to be another phenomenal match like our first one this morning, which is completely, it was just awesome to watch and went right down to it. You at home are probably getting excited about this next game too, and in order to get even more excited, I'm going to pass you over to Melly, who's going to tell you how you can get involved and speak to us, speak to the guys, get some questions for after the games. Stick around, it's really heating up here. We'll see you right back. To you, Melly.
Thank you, Sean. I've joined a RaidCall channel which was sent to me by Samoth, and we're like 13 people in this channel right now, so maybe we could have a quick look inside, because I promised if you will send me your RaidCall channel number, we will visit you on air. So guys in the chat, say hi. You're in TV right now. And the channel keeps getting more crowded. So that was the promised visit. People saying hi right now. And let's have a quick look at the mascot challenge we've still got running. We are getting still submissions. So keep on participating to win great merchandising stuff from your favorite teams. And we have new submissions which are really, really awesome. So let's have a quick look on them. This one is pretty cool. So we've got like a big badass ninja and 2 tiny ones. This one is hand drawn, but also pretty nice. This one is pretty funny. And here's a nice one for VeryGames. It's a bit different. Everybody was trying to draw some, I don't know, some real mascots, and this is more like a new sign. So I don't know if it's going to participate in the mascot challenge because it's not really a mascot. It's a globe with a crown and VeryGames written on it. So let's see what's the next one. Again, a ninja creeping behind a corner. Here is the Ninjas in Pyjamas turtle with pyjama pants, and another ninja for NiP, and a hand-drawn for a Nexus. So thank you all for sending me that great stuff and those great fan arts. So keep on participating, get yourself in there because you can win awesome stuff. Non-purchasable jerseys as well from NiP, and yeah, let's go to the pre-match interview. Sean is already waiting.
And we are about to get underway here, but first I'm going to have a little chat with MEK. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this match since now weeks, and you know, it's happening, so I am.
And how are you feeling going into it?
The only thing I know is that it's gonna be a tough game, like either way. So I'm just trying to keep my focus like 100%, and hopefully it's gonna go our way. But you know, we're like an excellent team, and I mean, I'm not really expecting anything. It's just gonna be a tough game. That's all I know.
Excellent, tough game coming up. And of course I have Get Right, who we rushed to come in here and he threatened to punch me. So I'm hoping that energy is going straight into this game. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty good actually. Pretty calm, nothing special.
Nothing special? 35 thou on the line, come on. What's happening?
We've been playing so many tournaments in a row now. I'm too calm right now, so that's a good sign as well.
Calm is a good sign. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to ask you to shake hands. Have a great game. We're heading over to the casters, and I believe there might be a special guest there sitting with our good friend, Mr. Paul Chaloner.
Yes, there is indeed a very special guest with us. Welcome back to the casting desk here at the RaidCall EMS1. I'm joined by none other than a 1.6 legend. I hope you don't mind me saying that. You don't care,
Sounded nice.
Sounded nice. It is Khan, of course. Patrick, welcome to the casting desk.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Before we go into this game and we start talking about this game, let's just talk a little bit about your guys' game, because they put you through the mill, didn't they? I mean, I've done your job. I've stood behind players and managed
it's horrible.
Teams. It's horrible, right?
I'm more nervous than I ever was when I used to play.
Exactly the same
for
me.
an old man's heart like mine. I had to rush up, have a quick lunch and down back here just to like get rid of the pressure. Yeah.
What were they doing? I mean,
Dust 2 was we failed badly to attack. I mean, we got the first pistol round. Yeah. 2 successful anti-ecos, 3-0, right? And then losing like I think 12 rounds in a row. Yeah. Then losing the CT pistol round, it's already over pretty much.
No, I mean, but even on the first map, you were 7-1 down, you were 10-3 down.
Yeah.
Then they made a bit of a comeback, 10-10, and you must have been thinking, okay, it's all right, things are going back to... And then they lost 3 more rounds and then made it overtime, and then they've really put you through the mill.
Yeah, struggle and frustration was 2 keywords during this battle against AL. But I have to say, they played pretty well, and I'm pretty impressed by some of the individual performances you saw from the play. RDL is one example, just like raking up 3 frags in a matter of a split second, right? Whereas our guys, we couldn't perform really. But the good thing, we did win eventually. So.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it, with great teams? You've played in a great team, you were very dominant for a period of time, and great teams somehow find their way out of trouble.
Yeah, I think it's a bit helpful having me behind as well, because they started to argue a bit, and I just tried to tell them to not shut up, but like, hey guys, we're still in this, we're still like just refreshing their memories about the actual situation, the reality. We are ahead. Okay, we're about to lose Dust 2 maybe, but you know, it's best of 3, and that in the most cases is not as random as some people may say. So yeah, we were the stronger team, but we saw big fluctuation in terms of our performance. So
where do you think the problem was? Do you think it was on the communication? Was it on the team play? Was it on the timing?
It was a great mix of everything, I'd say. Dust 2, definitely the strategies and the way we failed to adapt to their defense. And from my point of view, obviously standing behind them, and I see probably more than they do. What I can say that it seems like AL was playing kind of the same setup. They never went aggressive on catwalk, for example. There were like 2 guys in B, but still we did some stupid mistakes trying to attack B early, like losing two players. And I think we are in a situation in our team right now. We cannot really adapt when such a thing is happening, where you look at NiP, they have so much experience, then they're like, okay, we are 3 versus 4, or we are 3 versus 5. Hey, stick together, let's get a bomb planted maybe. We can win this round, we have Forest.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. Okay, so Fnatic safely through the final, well, not safely, but they're just about squeezed into the final, which is great for you, great for the team. It's the second final in a row, obviously, as well. So you played VeryGames and lost in Mad Catz.
Yeah, 2 straight maps.
You guys are starting to build some momentum, though. You're starting to see some good results.
I think we do. But the thing is, if you're always very close to reach the golden medal, of course, and you're failing, you get a bit frustrated and stressed from it. And I hope we have a chance in the final, but it's going to be tough for sure.
I'm glad you picked that up. It was a nice little seg, that was, because VeryGames are on our screen right now, and they are what I would call the perennial runners-up.
Besides ESH Birmingham.
Indeed, and that's the first one that they've won. So, again, 11 out of 11 games these two have played over the last 8 months, and 11 times NiP have come up trumps.
Like against every team out there.
Of course, but what have VeryGames got to do psychologically? What have they got to do to kind of forget about the history, forget about the 11 games that they've played and lost, and concentrate more on their own game?
I think they have to play it round by round. It sounds very simple, but I see they seem to have a nice chemistry. But I think if they end up in a scenario, whereas NiP starting to win the pistol round, winning the 4th round, being up 5-0, they're gonna have to forget about the past, because if they enter this cycle again, where they just have somewhere in the back of their head like, okay, this is the same old story again, we're going to lose. But if we see a great start from the French-Belgian team, I do think they can do a miracle here and beat NiP. Okay. Obviously NiP is the big favorite, but the interesting thing going to be to see Exist leadership, where we're going to see some tough games for them, Of course, they lost to Virtus Pro over in Kiev. We shouldn't take too many conclusions from that defeat. But yeah, if they're starting to lose rounds here to VeryGames, it's going to be really interesting to see how Exist can try to just motivate the game and adapt to VeryGames' attack or defense. What
do you think of the whole? I mean, you've got it in Fnatic right now as well. What do you think of the mix of Source players and 1.6 players? Do you think that is the best mix, or do you have a particular preference, or do you not care?
I don't care that much. I think in an initial part, when the teams transferred, I think the progress, the speed of learning the CSGO engine, the flashbangs and how the skyboxes works, I think it definitely helped to have those Source players around. You seen a great mix in NiP, obviously, but I would say before, and if I would predict like last summer, I couldn't really tell like what is the perfect dynamic, what is the perfect constellation of a team. But I think it do helps, because you have some elements of CS Source, you have some elements of CS 1.6. I mean, it's all about the team game, like the team spirit and how these guys are accepting each other's past and looking at CSGO as a new game with open minds, which I think NiP has done like amazingly compared to many other teams who have like.
We mentioned Forest earlier on. Do you look at the team with a little bit of jealousy, knowing that you had a couple of those guys in your old Fnatic team? And
it's a sense of pride as well. I mean, I'm a bit proud about it. Yeah. The majority of them has played under the Fnatic banner for very long. Exist, of course, he was a great player before we picked him up, but I think he really thrived in Fnatic. Obviously, he wanted to return to a full Swedish team. We have no problem with that whatsoever. I still consider myself as a good friend with all those players. So it's fun to see them win, of course, as well, representing Sweden. But in the scenario they are playing the Fnatic team, of course, I don't like them that much.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. And I doubt that you'll be liking them too much if you end up meeting them in the final either. We are in the second semi-final today of the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup. $35,000 on the line, 12,000 of that going to first place. And we are down to 3 teams now. Fnatic having come through in a 3-mapper thriller with absolute legends, and we're now going to go with VeryGames and NiP for our second final. The grand final will be coming up at 5:15 this afternoon at Central European time.
Are you surprised about the top 3 so far?
No, I think my predictions were that it would be an NiP Fnatic final. I wasn't sure about Nexus and VeryGames. I thought they would probably have a good game.
And they did.
Yeah, and they did. But I also thought Faculty would do better than they did as well. So I had Faculty as my kind of outside chance, if you like, of making the semis or the final. But no, they were.
Yeah, they lost pretty straight up.
They were terrible
towards AL.
Yeah, unfortunately for them. And the strange thing is they're a lovely bunch of guys, but they have no idea what they're doing wrong right now, which is really bad for a team that are in all sorts of trouble. And then it's not even like they're playing well online anymore either. A few weeks ago, they were playing fantastically well online, and I thought, okay, now they just need to convert that to LAN. But they're playing awful online as well, and even by their own admission, they were like, no, we're just playing trash everywhere. We're not sure why. We can't work it out. We've trained hard. We've practiced strats. We've DM'd for hours. We've done all the things that every good team does, but none of it is working for us. And you go through periods of that, right?
Very much so. Player changes happens normally in those scenarios, and we've seen that so many times in the history of Counter-Strike. I cannot tell too much about Faculty. That's not a team I follow that much. But one interesting aspect regarding them is like they are one of very, very few German teams out there that are strong.
Yeah.
Like reasonable strong at least.
It's funny though, because
Germany should be one of the best countries in the world.
Yeah, I mean they've their own EPS and they have done for many years. Interestingly, when I looked at the RaidCall playoffs, we actually had more German teams than any other country left in, but none of them were at the sort of top 8 level, which was why we only saw Faculty the only one coming through, and they were, I would say, reasonably lucky to get through to the LAN finals as well. So. Yeah, difficult. I wonder.
Even the Brits are better now.
Oh, well, that's a rarity, isn't it? Yeah. It's been a while since we've been able to say that. I think 2007 was the last time I was able to say that we had a decent English team. Or at least a British team, anyway. I always get picked up on that.
We had a British team, but we did have a decent one.
Well, yeah, I always have to say British as well, because we've got MX, and Jim often gets upset if I call it an English team, because he's from Wales, so...
All right.
Yeah, I have to correct myself on that one. But yeah, semi-finals. So VeryGames, Ninjas in Pyjamas. It is the 12th...
Classic.
It is almost... I mean, I'm not going to call it the El Clasico, but it is almost a classic matchup in Counter-Strike Go. It's the most storied one we've got so far. It's a bit like Fnatic versus SK of old in 1.6. And that's as close as we're going to get right now in CSGO, with it being only a few months old. Well, I say that now. What are we now? We're about 8 months,
I think we need to stop talking like that, because it's been like
it has been
10 months or something like that. And the beta was out way before that as well.
I mean, yeah. The weird thing is, when it got launched, I was kind of like, I've been playing this for almost a year. This is so weird.
It's been like Dota 2. It's been like beta forever.
Yeah, it's just going to stay in beta all the time.
It's a very smooth transition there, long as well.
Yeah. So, so 11 matches and 11 defeats, as we said. Not a surprise, as Patrick already pointed out. That's pretty much what everyone's had against Ninjas in Pyjamas, unless you're Russian, in which case you've had 4 map wins recently. But they've got to break the voodoo at some point. I heard GetRight have an interview with HLTV yesterday, and he said in that, they know they're going to get beaten at some point by these teams. They know it's inevitable. They can't go on forever. And the question we've got, really, is it going to be today? So, we're in warm-up right now. Hopefully, we'll get underway any moment now. Both teams have sat down now and are ready. I had a question earlier on from Twitch chat, which I just want to clear up, which was, do the players have somewhere to practice? And they do. They have we've built a brand new practice area with the same tables and the same setup that they have on their play tables. And the great thing is, and I really love this, and I know the players do as well, we've given them hot swap hard drives. So whenever they set up in the practice area, they can literally take the hard drive with them, plug it into the PC that they're playing on, and everything is exactly the same.
It's completely amazing.
It's a godsend.
I'm amazed that we haven't figured this out already.
Right? How have we not done that before?
But yeah, I have to give credit to ESL, you guys who have organized a really great cup here. Smooth for the players, come here, have a practice area. Something you normally don't see at events.
But they've also been given food, breakfast,
perfect, yeah, exactly.
Water, drinks, whatever they've needed. I mean, it's simple stuff, isn't it? Because let's face it, all the stuff that we've ever been to over the years, all the tournaments you go to, all you really want is hotel to be reasonably close, travel to be reasonably cheap, somewhere to practice, and some water. And that's not hard to provide.
And then you're going to see a lot of headshots. That's how it is, basically.
It's not hard.
Because if the environment is great for the players, you're going to see a different quality of Counter-Strike.
Absolutely right. Right, we are ready to go then. So let's drop you in for the knife round. And I don't know if you've been listening, Patrick, but I've had to do these knife rounds in a slightly different accent. And
I would love to hear that. I haven't.
No, well, we've done Scottish and we've done Jamaican and we've done pirate. So this one is going to be Australian, amazingly. Right then, mate. Here we go then on the knife round. There's no shrimps, no barbies here. Just knives, mate, knives. Well, I was going to say, mate, that's not a knife. That's a knife. But I didn't even manage to get that one in there. I don't know. They ruined it. That was so quick. I didn't even see it. Ninjas in Pyjamas then were ninjas with knives in that round, easily claiming the first one. So they'll switch over to CT, which is the slightly easier side. It's not that much easier on Inferno. It's actually the most balanced map we've got in competitive play right now in Counter-Strike Go. 51.7% if you want to be precise.
Right. I have to say though, regarding maps, throw it out there in the community, I don't think they have to be like 50-50 balanced. I think this is a topic I've been discussing a bit openly in our podcast earlier. You can see great maps such as Train, such as Nuke, that you see like 80-20 or 75-25% ratio to CT. It doesn't really matter, but Inferno is a very open map, allows you to do a lot of rotation. It's very hard to predict where the enemy gonna strike. Obviously the banana construction is a bit different here in CSGO, and I think it's probably less likely that teams attack B later on in rounds.
Yeah, no, it's a good point you make, because I often talk about how the maps are weighted, and I don't mind the fact that they're weighted one way or the other. I think it develops quite an interesting matchup with the teams, because you always then get one team who goes CT side, like on old style 1-6 Nuke. You would be like, okay, I've got to go CT style, and we've got to get at least 12 rounds, hopefully 13 or 14, and sometimes 15. But then you sort of thought the game was over then, but actually it wasn't, because it was so biased that actually when it switched round, the other team had equal opportunity to put 14 or 15 rounds on the board as well. So I quite like those games. But I also like the topsy-turvy games that we get on Inferno, where you'll see 3-0, then you'll see 3-3, then you'll see 4-3 and 5-4 and so on. So
that's right.
Yeah, hopefully it sort of gives us a nice mix of.
You can put it this way as well. Let's say at NiP is probably not a great example because they're winning every game they're playing anyway, right? Okay, so Fnatic is playing on a map like CT Train or Nuke. It's more likely they're going to lose to a less strong team. Whereas if they play a very open map, that's too. It's not a great example today, but Inferno as well. You have like the round balance is somewhere near 50%. The stronger team normally wins. Whereas CT side, you can get those 12 rounds and you win the pistol round. Game over, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does make a big difference. These two sides have met on Inferno before, 3 times, in fact, as we're about to go live. 11-1, the first one was at DreamHack Winter last year. That was, 16-1. And then 16-11 twice in the space of a month. The AMD Sapphire Invite and then Copenhagen Games, of course, as well. So here we go then, the semi-final of the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup. It's VeryGames versus Ninjas in Pyjamas. It is El Clasico, and we are underway with NiP on the CT side. Exist just holding on Banana right now. Let's just go and find MBK. He's actually just outside the back halls. They've got 2 push forward here as well. So if he decides to go through, he's going to come under a whole load of pain from Forest, and is nailed in the face by Forest to start things off. Nicely done. Kenny S coming back in with the revenge frag. Scream's now got himself up into the back balcony, and they've actually got the bomb man up there with 3 in white halls now. So oh, look at this, get right behind him, and actually did set up really nicely. Both of those kills, headshots in the end. Scream dealt with easily, and he was hiding in the back. And Get Right starts things off. Yeah, he did a Get Right. That's absolutely
very well.
Smith's in existence now. Last 2 alive here. They're also in the back. Get Right's going to get another one here, surely. That's 3. Can he make it 4 with Smiths, who is last man standing? Let me see if I can find it. Actually, he does pick up 1, and then Get Right gets his 4th of the round. If you're going to start like that, Get Right, this is going to be spectacular. NiP take round 1.
He baited well on Forest there. Forest obviously got the first frag as well, which really opened up the round for them and allowed Get Right to place himself in the situation. Get Right is one of the best players being in such situation. He's been in so many times before. He rarely fails. Other more like nervous players, less cool, they were starting to shoot the first opponent, whereas Get Right like comfortably communicated with his teammates, saying like, hey guys, I got them in the back, just hold your position. Then doing the attack, 2 nice headshots, following up an additional 2 nice headshots, 4 kills for Get Right. Quite amazing play from him there.
Into the second round then, and Forest lining up nicely here with the FAMAS. He's got a chance to get a 5-man here because they're all going to try and rush this corner. He's also got Exist alongside him here as well. Now, does he pop out? Yes, he does. Gets the first one, gets the second one, and Exist got one in between that for a bit of a sandwich kill. And 2 down. Actually, that's all of them down. Fifth Flower will clean up with the last frag. So 2-0, straightforward eco.
Yeah, textbook anti-eco, that great positioning. It never really snowballed for for the French-Belgian team here. They need to get the first frag in order to make the CT defense collapse. That never happened. Instead, the CT started to rake up frags and left the final player in a very dire situation. So yeah, great play from NiP once again.
Just a couple of frags on the board so far from VeryGames. They'll need a little bit more than that if they want a reasonably strong third round buy. No plants yet either, just 2 kills between them. And we've got Get Right on the rotation here, so the call has been made, and here's Forrest. This time he's at quad. He gets dumped down though by MBK, and Smith comes in behind him to get a second kill. They've got a third here as well. Nice anti-strat here from them, but Exist is standing strong. He's picked himself up 2 in a row, and Freiberg's now going to rotate over the other side. Exist has got another one. That's a 4th for him, and is he going to be able to pick up the 5th? Existence has only got 23 points of health here, but does have bomb in hand. And he's going to get it planted as well, that B bomb site. So,
yeah, I cannot see NiP losing this though. Obviously, great attack from VeryGames towards A here.
2 versus 1. Existence with 23 health, no weapons. Nice little dummy though. They put 4 men on the A bomb site, but they were all decoys. As Existence managed to get that bomb plant. We talked about the money just a moment ago. Now, Existence through the wall. He knows where the man is, but I don't think he's going to do enough damage through that wall. And he's not going to be able to get that. That will be a defuse. So he might even lose his life right at the end of the ref. He's not careful. No, luckily has survived. That's a good move. So they get the bomb plant at least. That's something. And they did get those 3 early kills.
Yeah.
But they are 3-0 down.
That was kind of the only way he could have played that round eventually in the 1 or 2 there. The alternative would be to do peek and hope for a really quick headshot to end up in a one-on-one situation and play on the bomb. But when he invites the CT to come close to the bomb, starting to defuse it, and he has 23 health and a pistol, you know, it's kind of over. He needs to go for some lucky shots through the wall there. Not successful this time around, but I kind of like the thinking at least.
So we're back underway in round 4. Gun round first time here for VeryGames. Have already pushed 2 into the lower Whitehall area, but well, Get Right's not there this time, so they've got no worries with anyone hiding in the bedroom. They're going to check it anyway. As well they might. Let's have a quick check and see what's going on. Smith's actually going to try and play the decoy on Banana. Screen covering mid, and they've got 3 men over on what looks like they're going to try for a Whitehall push, are they? Indeed, they are going to try and move this way. MBK and Kenny S now making their way very slowly down towards this area.
Yeah, we do have a nice flash set up from the Swedes though.
Oh, and that flash did come in nicely. Got them both in that hallway. Exist is just sitting outside here and waiting in pit right now, and we'll pick up the frag surely on Kenny S. No, actually MBK downed him, and Kenny S then gets the headshot in on 5th Laren, and they've got a 2-man advantage here. They really need to push this one home and claim this round, but Freiberg's now stepped up. He's picked off 2, and now back to a 3 versus 3 on site. Flash goes in from Kenny S. Double flash inside the site. In goes MBK to try and pick up the first frag. Does so inside that flag. Inside the site was on Forest. So we're now at a 3 versus 2. Get Right and Freiberg, the last 2 alive. Bomb is not going to get planted at A right now. They're going to wait, and that's going to cost them a life because Get Right rotates back through CT spawn, and Freiberg will finish off MBK.
Speechless.
And what? Can't talk to us. Why didn't that work?
Well, first of all, they got the frags towards A, right? They started to get two entries there. But obviously the initial plan was to do the attack in B, plant it there. So it was like a fake, but the fake became a little bit too successful. Fake. And what can happen on CT is like, when CT are in a 3-on-5 situation, they're gonna probably pull back, return to B, and that's where the attack gonna happen. So I'm not surprised at all that Freiberg there was managed to kill a few people, because he would stay there, you know, in that situation. They'd probably give up that round anyway, because the 2 CTs in A went down. But yeah, it wasn't nice for anyone, really.
That was pretty awkward, I have to say.
It's only NiP that is happy now, not the Counter-Strike fans out there, because that was a poorly executed round.
Yeah. Don't need mistakes. Nice. They don't need mistakes like that. They have to bring everything to the table, and they have to do it really well if they want to beat these world champions. And not a good 4th round buy. It doesn't matter too much. They've got guns here, all bar Existence anyway. Now, what are they going to do here? One at the top of Banana, but actually the action, I think, is going to come again in those white holes. MBK again making his way forward, just trying to bait out a shot or a flash to try and reduce them down a little bit. They're running out of time again here, though. 40 seconds remaining.
That's enough, but they better start the attack soon.
MBK now waiting just outside quad. The rotation is back on again, though. They are going to go the other way, so Yeah, Khan's right, it's going to be B, and here comes the set smoke from Scream any moment now, and then his team are going to rush towards this bomb site. MBK, meanwhile, is on the other side of the map right now, trying to play the decoy, and has got one in there. Good double flash, counter flash is coming back in from the CTs on NiP. friberg gets the opening kill, get right in with the second one, exists for a third. Kenny S, the only man to play any kind of role in there, but then Scream takes off the head of friberg, and now they've got into the bomb site. Bomb planted with just a few seconds remaining. They've got 2 versus 2 here, but 7 and 12 health is not leaving them very helpful at all. And we've got Fifth Laren and Exist trying to make their way into the bomb site.
It's going to be down to the next frag.
Fifth Laren on the right-hand side of the bomb site now, trying to look for Scream. Scream replies back. It's now a 1 versus 1. Fifth Laren versus Scream for the round here. He's got to be quick because the bomb's starting to tick down and doesn't win the round. How on earth has Scream won that with 12 health points? And it's rounds like that, Khan, that really do change games.
Certainly, they definitely needed that as well, because if you look at the money situation, they were like really, really low. In addition to that, they had one guy saving out the previous round, so he was on completely zero. But the way they tried to retake that bomb spot was not nice at all. But maybe, I think it's kind of hard as well in CSGO to know exactly how much health your teammate, the remaining opponents has left.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for us. We can see it on the screen. They would have had almost no idea. I mean, one of the players could have said, yeah, tagged him, definitely tagged him, but he'd have no idea how badly. And they had 19 health between them, those two players.
Yeah,
and
if they had only known that, they would
they would have just rushed in, guns blazing, but they didn't. And they lost the round. So a little bit of a chink in the armour, perhaps, for the Swedes here. Yeah, leading 4-1.
They're not used to lose matches. They're used to lose rounds, and they're very good to cope with that and just to retake the next round, which I think they are very close to do. They just took down Scream.
Fifth Laren playing his usual CT arch side on Inferno. Has already picked up the opening kill. Might get a second one here on Kenny S. No, he's dropped down by the Frenchman, and Forrest comes back in for a second in a row, actually. Kenny S then getting rid of him, and now we've got a 3 versus 2. What a little brilliant shot from MBK right into the site, takes off the head of Exist, and now the bomb can get planted here with 30 seconds remaining.
A slow rotation from CT as well, I have to point that out.
And we've got a mid-rotation this time around from Get Right and friberg. They're going to try and make their way into the bomb site with the bomb planted. 2 versus 2, 4-1 up. Would like to take this round and push VeryGames back onto the save here, though. They're going to have to start being quicker. Get Right now, in towards the bomb site, lays down the fire. Good spray control from him. Gets rid of Kenny S. friberg deals with MBK, and the bomb defuse will come in, and it'll be Ninjas in Pajamas leading 5-1.
Yeah, if NiP would have lost that, they would probably went on an equal here. But how this game works is going to be the other way around here. I think we see in VeryGames on 3.3, they might decide to drop or low buy, but I don't know. I think they are one of those teams that try to play it very conventional, very safe. Yeah. Which I don't necessarily agree with.
No, I've seen that. In fact, the Swedes, for
me,
seem to be more gamblers. They'll take a couple of shotguns or, you know, a couple of B250s and a couple of shotguns, and they'll play a risky kind of, what looks like a risky buy, but actually...
Always putting pressure on the opponent, and they up in like a 3-on-3 situation in an equal round, and we excel in those moments.
Yep. 5-1 then, Ninjas in Pajamas leading. A little bit of damage done on friberg, but they have managed to get rid of Smith, and now Existence has been dropped as well by Get Right, who's just going to spray down onto Banana through the smoke, and little bit of damage. No, actually just 1 health taken off of Kenny S, so might as well not be anything at all. Meanwhile, Exist on the other side of the map has gotten rid of MBK, so we're 5-2 now in terms of personnel. This should be another straightforward round for the Ninjas. Kenny S and Scream both on an eco here. He's actually Exist has picked himself up another frag, so that's 2 for him this round, and Scream will be last man standing with 45 seconds to go, and this will be 6-1.
Most certainly.
Yeah, there we go.
I would like to elaborate a bit on the way that VeryGames are playing. I would say that they are like always trying to do the perfect round, and what I mean with that is like synced flashbangs, great setup to make sure you're not getting put back by aggressive CTs. But you also lose a sense of ability to adapt, and that is something we haven't seen from the French and Belgian team at all. Instead, they're trying to do like complex fakes, throwing flashbangs here and there, and then they're gonna attack B, even if it's only 30 seconds left. And that's something that they got really punished for a few rounds back when one guy was left saving out, you know? Yeah, crucial mistake.
friberg's got himself the opening here. In fact, he's got himself 2 already. And he was covering the B bomb site on his own this time round. Forrest has actually made a push forward. He's got himself a frag now as well. So it's running out of ideas already for VeryGames. They've got Kenny S on AWP here as well. Scream obviously bought as well, but they're 6-1 down and they need to stop this rot. They only had that single round where they shouldn't have won it, but it was some brilliance from Scream, who had that 1v2. Kenny S, I haven't seen him miss a pixel AWP shot like that in a while. And he's going to get flanked here, but he's going to be able to pick up the frag on Get Right. So smart move there by Kenny S. Now, can they get down this banana walkway here? 40 seconds, so plenty of time. 4 versus 2.
No, we're seeing world-class positioning from the CTs here, NiP. They have pretty much sealed them into the banana. We have one AWP with the bomb and we have one AK. He needs to do a miracle here, and I don't think he's going to do it.
Well, let's see if he can. Fifth Lauren covering the right-hand side. Got a teammate to the left-hand side. Inside the bomb site is Freiberg, who's already got himself one. Scream with a single bullet headshot on Fifth Lauren.
Why
now,
not?
If they can get rid of the second man inside that bomb site, they've got a chance of getting this bomb planted. 13 seconds left, though. Got to be quicker than this. The rotation is on behind them. It's not going to make any difference because Freiberg comes in with a hat-trick from him, 2 from Forrest. It's 7-1.
Yeah, and another poor money situation for VeryGames. I think this can escalate to a score around like 14-1, 13-2 or something like that. I don't see any comeback from VeryGames the way they're playing, like they're doing right now at least. And a bit of desperation from Scream as well, buying
What do you think they need to do though?
Well, what they will need to do, they will just stick to AKs. They shouldn't buy AWP like they did there, because when he misses a shot in the middle, CT know they are playing an AWP, and that it's a certain pattern that they're not going to play an aggressive round. So they can save the flashbang, they can keep the rotation intact. They can be 2 guys in bomb site B, they can be 3 in A. Just like when it's starting to reach like 45 seconds, 30 seconds, they can throw delay flashbangs. That's going to halt their attack.
A couple of ridiculous kills from Exist again in mid. They are on an eco once more out. Almost a full eco. I think Scream, I don't know if he's bought that on
to
purpose
get some additional
or not,
frags.
But yeah, it might be okay. Let's just check his money. He hasn't got the great deal. That might be a mistake buy, you know. And I've seen them do that before.
Maybe a bit of he's a bit nervous, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
He should be playing NiP. Lost, what did you say, 11 times in a row?
Yeah. And not looking like making it 11-1 right now, it has to be said. They're 7-1 down in this particular map. First map on Inferno. Freiberg just chipping away at VeryGames to get rid of Scream. So Existence now the last man alive, and he has no frags so far.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay. 0
frags for Existence. To be fair to him, I've hardly seen him with a weapon. He didn't buy on that sort of 4-man buy that they had before. As Fifth Lauren now has got an AWP, and he's going to be covering that quad and CT arch area with it. He's going to start racking up some kills for NiP as well. So 8-1.
I think Existence is one of those leaders that is always looking at the team picture. He doesn't really mind, okay, I have 0 frags, but I'd rather give Scream an AK because the winning percentage is higher if he has it in his hand. But of course, I think every leader, and I can include myself here as well, if you are consistently failing to frag, you have like 0-10 or something, of course it affects your ability to call the strategies.
You were never 0 and 10, were you?
Oh, never. Probably a good couple of times. If you play 12 years, it's going to be those bad days, you know.
Starting things off with a nade this time round. It's a double nade, actually, has got rid of 2 players so far. Smith and Existence already down, and we've played 9 rounds. This is the 10th, and Existence has gone 10 rounds without a frag. And it's weird because they actually had a really good tournament at Mad Cats Birmingham. Started off very well yesterday,
Definitely.
but hasn't hit the mark so far in this game. It's now a 5 versus 3. We're under a minute remaining in this particular round. And Kenny S would just switch over as he goes eye to eye with Fifth Lauren and wins that battle. We talked about it in the preview, and we said it would be a big matchup. Kenny S coming up big with the big
problem
green.
comes now when Get Right is hidden in the bomb spot.
Yeah, indeed. Get Right just waiting behind now, and there's 3 of them about to move into the bomb site. Oh! Point blank shot range! That's fantastic from Kenny S. And Get Right would never in a million years look like losing that particular battle, and it's suddenly spun on a sixpence. They've now got a 3 versus 2. And we've got Freiberg and Exist remaining. They are trying to make their way towards that site. The head will be taken off the shoulders by Exist as he tries to get out to that bomb site. Gets a second one. Kenny S now replying back. It's now a 1 versus 2. It's all on Exist to win the round, and the bomb is ticking. I don't think he's going to get in there. He's not going to get in there. And guess who, ladies and gents? Kenny S has joined the server.
Yeah, a bit surprised that Kenny has decided to peek that position where Getright was sitting, because the decision Getright took when sitting there, when his teammates started to drop, was very like unorthodox. And I don't know.
You'd have expected
from my
him to have won
experience,
that,
if I had a bomb, I would probably not expect the opponent to be there, because if he played like that, like Getright did, he didn't take the team pitch in consideration at all. He just played for himself a little bit, and that is great sometimes. I'm not saying by all means, but so surprising that Kenny has decided to peek there and also killing him that fast. Probably surprised another Swede in this room, and that was Getright, of course.
I would have almost put my house on that, being a Getright frag. I've seen him sat there so many times and pick up kill after kill after kill, but not that time.
Yeah, just the timing and that position Getright took, it didn't make sense for Kenny to peek there, I think at least, but he did successfully in winning the round, the second one to VeryGames.
Fifth going to peek here. He's going to peek, and he's actually going to chip Kenny down a little bit as well. Now here come the flashes into mid. Existers equalise things back up now. 50 seconds again. VeryGames playing very passive in the early part of the round, and now have to commit to a site. Kenny has just waiting here. He's going to use the flash off the circular middle area to flash out quad, but then doesn't make the move. They've smoked it as well, so is this going to be a fake?
Yeah, they're waiting too much. Banana. Yeah, they kind of lured Forrest back to bomb site B, but now when the attack strikes, he's going to be on the way back already. The rotation is pretty top-notch.
Timing is everything, right? And timing right now is not working, and Fifth is going to get himself a hat full of kills here in that quad area. I couldn't quite get over to him. Exister's got himself now a screen last man standing against 3, and really, Patrick, that was all about just not getting into the site quick enough. Now Scream on his own does get up the first one, couldn't get the second, and Exist will pick up an easy defuse. So that'll be 9-2. Very indecisive, VeryGames.
Very indecisive.
What looked like a fake smoke and flash top mid, looked like they were going to make the rotation to B, and then didn't, and then waited for the smoke to clear, which then gave Fifth an easy couple of kills.
Yeah, Existence is not only failing to frag today, he's also failing to do proper split seconds decisions. And there are no perfect decisions, but you need to stick to something. You cannot just wait until it's 25 seconds left. That's gonna allow Fifflern to take such a position, killing 2 guys in the back, and then it's already over, because Forrest is already back on the bomb spot. They could have just rushed for B. They could have just like sent one guy to the BS to fake it and stall the 2-man rotation from there and goes side holes, for example. But instead, they just decided to, in the 4-4 situation, go back to the flash attack on the 22nd mark or something like that.
Wow.
Nice headshots.
Yeah, a couple in from Scream, actually. Forrest had got a couple just before him as well. Now Getright's decided to step up. And they're on an eco here, but they have managed to pick up a gun. MBK with that gun. And Getright not able to pick up the frag this time round. So 3 versus 2 in a round that really NiP should be winning very easily.
Yeah.
But VeryGames are making them work hard for it. At least that much. And they need to as well, because they're 9-2 down right now. And this looks like being 10-2, and it is 10-2. Freiburg actually getting the last 2 kills of the round. So 3 to go for the half.
Yeah, they will need it. If they manage to get the remaining 3 rounds, VeryGame that is, we're going to have a match.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pistol round is going to be extremely important. If they fail to deliver now, and they are in a quite poor money situation as well. They have like a few $100s left every round they're buying, which is which is hinting that the losing bonus is not really kicking in, because they won a round. I think they won the was it round number 9? Yeah. And before that was like round number 5 or something like that. And when you spread out those round victories, the money situation is really appalling.
Got a fast push here. They've actually gone up into white halls very quickly indeed. Fifth is just waiting outside Borno, and Kenny waiting with his AWP in that hallway. They've got another man just behind him with bomb in hand, which is MBK. And the defensive smoke has been placed on balcony as well. So, chance here. I thought that was going to be a faster push from VeryGames. Good defensive flash. Now they make the push. It is a very, very positive push, and it's very early indeed. Kenny is with that AWP in hand. Point blank range goes for the no-scope on Exist, but that's not going to work. And then Forrest comes in behind just to back up his teammate. Unfortunately, Scream had already disposed of him, and now Fifth Lauren's got himself one on Smith. So Existence last man standing yet again. He has got himself a kill now. Is this the second? No, it's not. And that'll be 11-2. Better from VeryGame, more positive, but that's not going to work. Point blank range with no scopes like that in pit.
I think Exist was extremely lucky to eliminate 2 opponents there. Because the big pit is a very big area, and the way you're rotating there when the flashbangs are coming in is kind of random. You have to like depend that when they are falling down, the T's are falling down in the big pit, that you're aiming in that direction and you're not blind. And he was like running as he was escaping from the flashbangs, but instead 2 French players popped up in front of him and he killed them, you know.
And Exist has decided that the Org needs to come out now, and he's gonna get the frag on Kenny S as well here. Might get a second one at quad. Oh, not quite. He actually did get him. How on earth did he get that? Now gets a third. That's fantastic from Exist. And
the good old bull pope.
Dear me. I haven't seen that in quite a while, but there it is. 3 frags, lovely done from Exist. 2 in from Get Right. And Ninjas in Pyjamas lead 12-2. 1 more for the half, and if they get that, it's a really crucial round for them, because then they know they only need to win the pistols, the next 2 ecos, and it's then almost game over in map 1.
Definitely. And the second map is going to be Dust 2, which is NiP's choice, which means they're probably very, very comfortable playing that map.
Yeah, well, I think they are. I think they're solid enough on it, but I think VeryGames are poor on it, so...
Well, if they manage to get the economy up, we're not going to talk too much about Dust 2, of course, because EFN is still going on. But if the French Belgian team are getting the economy up, they can play double AWPs. That's going to be amazing for them as CT.
Indeed. Exist is just going to show us all the tricks in his armory right now. He had a AWP in hand just a moment ago as well. He's now switched it out for an M4.
That's probably a safer choice.
I think that was Fifth Lauren's AWP, who has had no joy whatsoever in this game with the AWP so far. He's been better when he's had an M4. Existence now putting a frag on the board, and it's a 4 versus 3, so they've got a chance here. Now, are they going to try and break into this B-bomb site? They are indeed. Get Right gets 2, though. Existence gets his first double of the game, and we're now at a 2 versus 3, but it might as well be 2 because Existence has 2 points out as Scream picks up the frag on Forest, so just Exist remaining here. He already had a 3-man in the last round, but no AUG in hand this time. Oh, that's fantastic. Lovely little shot on MBK, and 2 down to 5. 1 with 56, 1 with 2 health points. This is doable here. Exist now into the site. Got to go for it. Gets shot down by perfect placement from Existence towards CT spawn, and a triple from the captain. Gives VeryGames at least 1 round. It's 12-3 of the half.
What I love to see, though, the French team here, slash Belgian team, they like celebrated. They were really happy and screamed when they won the round. Something you don't see from too many teams when you're down 12-2 winning the third and last round.
Small victory, perhaps, but...
so they're never going to give up.
No, and they definitely won't give up, that's for sure.
Them and Rick Astley.
Yeah, they've taken that down now, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist anymore. Well, can't Rickroll anyone.
Damn it. That's all I did.
12-3 and a half. It's what you used to listen to before you played live, right?
And dance and sing to, yes.
Really?
It's actually a video on YouTube when I'm singing to.
True story, ladies and gents. Ninja Pyjamas then leading 12-3 of the first half on our first map of this semi-final, the second semi-final. Fnatic already through to the grand final, and we'll face one of these 2 teams. It is pretty much the top 3 that we predicted from the start, but they've all come to in different ways. Yesterday, both of these 2 teams had different games. VeryGames struggled with a Nexus, had a monumental battle with Brits. Ninjas in Pyjamas easily came through against the Portuguese kick side. And right now, it's the Swedes in charge.
Yeah, it's very well looked like we're going to get a full Scandinavian final. But, I mean, best of 3. It is possible.
No, well, we saw it yesterday. VeryGames won 16-1 first map against the Nexus and then lost the second one. So, can be done. We're into this first pistol round. Big round as well it is. Got to get this one. Scream comes up with a huge with a double. And now Exist. Whoa! What a flick headshot from Exist. Kenny S bites the dust. And now it's a 1 versus 1. And it's Existence versus Exist. It's the battle of the X's in round 1. 29 seconds remaining.
Who's going to cease to exist here?
Bomb in hand. Puns in hand. Bomb planted now. Existence.
Yeah.
Trying to make his way in towards the bomb site.
Obviously health favor to Existence, but positioning is one of Exist's stronger sides. And playing those one-on-one situations, he's really, really good at that. He's reading the game perfectly.
Exist also nice positioning as well here. He thinks that he's on site, and Existence checking absolutely everywhere right now. Now, is he going to go for the flash around the corner? He does go for the flash around the corner. I thought he was going to go for the full defuse on the back. He didn't, and Exist nails him to the wall with a headshot. A 3-man from Exist, which I tell you what, you need to replay again and again and again, because the first flick headshot in pit was absolutely mind-boggling.
You reckon we're going to see a frag clip coming up from that?
They might make a movie out of that one. 13-3, and that's pretty much map point as far as NiP are concerned.
I guess the only sensible decision from VeryGames now is to buy as much as they can. I'm not sure if they're going to do it, because I know they like to play a very static, conventional way of playing, which is a bit sad. Yeah, we're seeing some mags in the hands of Kenny, at least.
Exist is already trying to make his way forward. Mag also pulled out from Kenny S at point-blank range. It's a really big gun at close range, and he's managed to get himself a couple of frags, but they've lost 3 men very quickly, make that almost 4, in fact, yes, now 4 indeed, which just leaves us with Scream, and I can't get to him quite in time. He did pick up a frag on 5th Lauren, but that's all she wrote. 14-3 now, 2 more for the win.
We saw a lot of NiP players going down, but still, I would like to praise the calling ability from Exist. He kind of knew that they need to buy to get into the game here. So they stuck together, went up in the middle, peaked, they lost the guy, but easily took the next guy and just withdrew frags, eventually ending up in a favorable situation. Losing a lot of rifles, yes, but at this point, 13 rounds, you can afford that.
Just want to point out on the scoreboard right now, Exist is 26 for 8. 26 for 8, and we've only played 17 rounds of the game. Extraordinary stats being put up by the main man right now as he puts up another one through the smoke, this time on a lucky little headshot on Scream. And now they've got a 4 versus 3 advantage here, and nothing that VeryGames have been able to put up so far is working. They've bought mags again this time round. Those shotguns, really useful close range, but awful at long range, and they found them to be absolutely awful. Smith has got himself a frag now as Exist tries to hop over that mid-area in towards the B-bomb site. Will get himself a frag. Well, no, not quite actually. Smiths will come back in. Hey, that was a bit lucky because Smiths actually went nuts with that mag in the end. Got himself a couple of frags, but it is 15-3 now, and what are they going to buy? I think this is going to be a mixed buy as well, Patrick, isn't it?
Riot shields, that's what I would call it.
And suddenly I get flashbacks and nightmares to Condition 0. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a random game.
Oh, wasn't it just? Someone said in chat earlier, has Condition 0 stopped working? And I was like, has it ever worked?
I think they even have it in the WCG once.
Dear me, they did, you're right. It was like 2004?
2004, yeah.
Yeah,
San Francisco was.
Thank God they never brought that one back. Here we go then, 15-3. Map point, not match point, but map point. And this is surely going to be all over any moment now. Indeed it is. Kenny S down with at the end. And 16-3 is your final score for semi-final number 2, map number 1. And who else is it going to be but NiP Gaming with a 27 for 10 game from Mr. Landstrom, a.k.a. Exist.
Yeah, amazing play by Exist, but with other candidates for man of the match as well. I think we saw great play from Getright, obviously, opening up with 4 frags in the initial pistol round.
Yep.
Getright is like, you know those footballers that they say that they are born offside? He's a bit like born in the right position. He pops up at the most remarkable places where you never expect him, and just kills you in the back.
I think I heard his opponents, and this is all with all due respect, I think, but I've heard many opponents say to me, he's one of the most annoying players to play against because you never actually know where he's going to be.
I agree.
You can't. You kind of go, look, it's Inferno, so 5th Lauren must be with AWP, and he must be at CT Arch. Oh look, he is. That's brilliant. Getright played Bedroom, then he played Back Hall, then he played Mid, then he played B, then he played A, then he played Ruins, then he played. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, and I think the whole team is not built around him, but it's built in such a way that allows him to go and roam and do his thing and be that freelancer.
And that works amazingly when Forrest or Exist or any other player is on fire. They win the pistol round and the 4th round. The problem comes when they are starting to lose rounds, and when you have to depend more on the strategies, the flashbangs, everybody need to attack united. Then you can get a bit annoyed as a game leader if not someone is not following it. But in the most of the days, being the NiP team here, you love to have a player like that, and you hate to have an opponent like that. VeryGames there, you know, they feel that they have successfully penetrated the bomb site A, and then he just sits there. But in this case, Kenny S did this amazing flick shot, which was a key moment of that round. One of very few for them.
Yes, unfortunately, there's not really much we can talk about as far as VeryGames are concerned because there wasn't really much that they did that was great, was there? So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back. But for now, we're going to take a very quick break from the commentary desk and shoot you on over to Mr. Sean.
Thank you very much, Paul. So the game is let's be honest, pretty freaking phenomenal, just like it came before. And I'm joined by Pansy and Warclan, who are taking it easy, soaking it up, enjoying the game. What are you guys feeling? What's the feeling on the game so far?
It's NiP being NiP. They're being incredible. VeryGames you can't ever underestimate, but certainly they're being outclassed here. VeryGames did well, but certainly not quite up to par yet. I think a lot of people wanted to see this because NiP obviously did lose recently to another side, so I thought maybe this was the time we're going to see VeryGames step up, but no, it's not happening.
And in your opinion, is there something that VeryGames can do to turn this around? I mean, if you were there, if you could give them, a piece of your mind, talk to them, what would you be pushing for these guys to do?
It's not even so much that VeryGames are doing anything necessarily that wrong. They're playing very good CS, but NiP are playing a lot better CS. They're individually fantastic. A lot of the moments came down to individual moments, and they shone. VeryGames are a good team, but they're just being shown how to play CS right now, and the next map is going to be an even bigger show of that. So, yeah.
So for you feel like they're going to hold on to this dominance? You don't see it swinging? You don't see an upset coming?
No, it's staying.
And for you, sir, are you awake, asleep?
Yeah, I'm fine. What's going on?
Well, we've got the RaidCall EMS 1 finals today.
Oh, yeah,
the spring finals. Yeah, you are. I know that you're just taking it easy, just relaxing, enjoying the screen. We've got the screens up here so we can follow it all live with you guys at home, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. Any predictions for what's going to happen next?
Yeah, I hear a train coming, and I think it's the NiP train. Choo choo. Choo choo. So it's just going to be a steamroll.
Steamroll, you heard it here. We're going to be right back with the next map, but first, let's go ahead and have a commercial. See you in a minute. Thanks, guys.
Ready to challenge us? RaidCall, totally free. Amazing overlay function. Take positions. Sniper in position. Crystal clear auto quality.
I need backup.
No lag while using minimum resources. Better communication means winning. RaidCall, communication for winners. Let's RaidCall.
Welcome back to the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup semi-final number 2. Fnatic safely through, thanks to this guy in part, doing his job as a manager behind them. Not able to play with any guns, of course, these days, but nevertheless doing his job. Just the brain and the brawn. And they're safely through to the final. We're now trying to find out who's going to play Fnatic in that grand final. It's going to be NiP versus VeryGames' second matchup. 16-3 was the first map result, which is a bit of a destroying result as far as VeryGames are concerned. Wasn't much in there that we could take out for VeryGames to take positives out of, was there?
No, it's much easier to start on the negative side.
Yeah.
Great thing to point out is apparently, obviously, Scream's aim. That helped them to get the few rounds they got. Some crazy pistol action as well. On the negative side, and the things that I think at least they can easily improve is their way of their ability to adapt. I keep coming back to it, but it's quite appalling to see how they're trying to just stick to the same game plan.
Yeah, they're very rigid, aren't they? They don't really deviate from anything that you would normally expect to see.
Yeah, and I think that's something Annie or every in-game leader should have in his or her arsenal. They should always be able to pull up like a joker card.
Yep.
Like this didn't work. Let's do that.
But did you practice those when you were playing? Would you practice random strats and doing stuff like that, or
not really?
Actually, do you know what? Hold that thought. We've got the knife round coming in, and
no, that was more like split seconds call. You just came up with.
What the heck? I mean, how am I supposed to commentate it? You guys are too quick. Like, if you're watching this back on the VOD, VeryGames and Ninjas in Pyjamas, slow the hell down with the knife rounds so I can actually bring out an accent. I was going to sing that one as well.
Yeah?
No.
Which accent would you go for? How many accents do you have?
I don't know.
I only have my Swedish one, so I don't want to dare to enter any other.
No. I was trying. Apparently, I've got to do a Russian one at some point today, which should be straightforward-ish. And apparently, I've also got to sing a knife round.
Sing a knife round? Yeah. Like commentating and singing?
Yeah. So be like, oh, he's coming in with a knife. Something like that. I don't know.
Simon Cowell will not approve you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win any competitions on X Factor, that's for sure.
You will be like, what the heck was that?
Actually, that's a good idea. Shall I do that? I wonder if the Counter-Strike community would like that. If I enter X Factor for a laugh, but then sing about Counter-Strike,
that would be great.
That voice.
Millions of hits, I'd say. I call it. Yeah.
YouTube sensation. Sai-Hu? Right in.
Live.
Enough nonsense. We are ready to rock and rumble in the second map. NiP already 1-0 up. VeryGames have to win this one. Let's drop you into the game as we get underway in our pistol round. Dust 2 will be our second map. We are underway, 20 seconds in so far. No gunshots have been used, although Genius actually was clipped hard, then put down by Forest. Existence has also got himself the revenge frag. Freiburg back in to give them the advantage once more with a headshot. And I wonder if Exist can have another monumental game, because normally it's Get Right or Forest that we look to for those big frag numbers, but this time round it's been Exist. He was an absolute monster on that last map. Now, can he pick up frag? No, he can't. VeryGames going huge in the opening round here, and now just Mr. Lindbergh remaining. It's Forest versus MBK and Scream in a 1v2.
But who else would you love to have left in such a position?
Other than Get Right? Probably no one else.
I would say Forest on pistol rounds, though. With a weapon round, with an AK.
You're right.
Maybe Get Right. Depending on the situation, especially if the bomb is planted or if it's going to get defused, then I would probably prefer Get Right. But otherwise, Forest.
Problem Forest has got right now is that he doesn't have bomb in hand and time is ticking out. Now, if he picks up this one now, it's a 1 versus 1. A little bit of a rush towards that bomb site. Now, he's on Cat. He hasn't seen him. And now he does see him. And they're equal health right now. And all he's got to do really is run away. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that. Can he rotate back in towards this B-bomb site? This would be awesome. If he can get in there in just in time, he will get in there in time. And Scream now is going to have a chance to try and clutch this round in a 1 versus 1. Really smart play by Forest. In the heat of the moment, saw that he could get the bomb back in mid and could get that bomb planted in the B bomb site, which gives him an advantage in a 1v1.
Totally.
Scream now in towards the bomb site through the hole in the wall very quickly. Now, Fake Defuse is going to come in first. He hasn't got a kit here either, so he can't be too slow. Second one now. They exchange another couple of shots. Now, Forest dances his way around. He's one of the most fantastic movers in the game. Here comes another defuse. Now, Scream! Oh! No, he picks up the... And he's not going to get the defuse. And perhaps I want to see a 1 versus 2 in a pistol round on Dust 2. Just play back that last 30 seconds, Carl, because that was absolutely textbook.
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, the situation was definitely textbook play from Forest, that is. But to be honest, that was quite of an ugly round, if you're looking from the tactical perspective. So Kenny S ended up in the middle, getting squeezed by the Pyjamas, the Ninjas, sorry, Ninjas in Pyjamas. And then NiP being up like 5 versus 3 or something like that, starting to drop numbers, ending up in a 2-on-1 situation in favor of VeryGames. Really appalling positioning from VeryGames as well in the 2-on-1 situation. They had a bomb in the middle, and what did they do in the dark hall? I think this was MBK who went down to Forest in the dark hall.
Just want to talk about what we've got right now, because look at this. Look, talk about individuals playing individually. 5 men, all playing back. This is the anti-strat, because they're trying to wait out and see what VeryGames do. And they've obviously been watching demos, because that's the only reason I can think of them waiting back there for 45 seconds.
Yeah.
They've now got a rotation back from that sort of 1-1-1-1-1-1 split into more of a more reasonable 4 split into B right now, into those tunnels. And they are just going to creep in there very slowly, without making any sounds whatsoever, and try and surprise VG in one of these 2 sites. Who've taken a much more static view. If you look at them, they've got that sort of standard 2-man, 1 mid-ish, short 2. They've sort of stacked A if you like, but not massively. Now, Forest gets the opening frag inside the bomb site. The man down the left-hand side is always a little bit confusing there, and does pick up 1 frag, but it's not going to be much. Exist another headshot on Kenny S. Didn't even see his head or his body, but Exist took it off his shoulders anyway, and it's now a 3 versus 2. So VeryGames have done enough here to be in contention, but if they walk through holes in the wall like that without firing or looking, they're going to get dropped by Exist every time. Another hat-trick from him, and Ninjas in Pyjamas playing that one very nicely indeed in the end.
Certainly. One interesting thing to bring up here is the positioning of CTs in eco rounds when they only have pistols or the Mag 7s. In CSGO, sorry, in CS 1.6, the normal way of doing ecos, you stick together. A lot of CTs trying to just hide yourself in bomb site B or having grenades ready towards catwalk. This is us too, of course. But in CSGO, as the pistols are that powerful, you can kind of spread yourself out, because if you are good enough, on this level people are, you can kill 2 people in a split second with just the regular pistol. And we've seen so many teams, even including NiP here, even if they are the very best team, losing anti-ecos.
So here we go into the bomb site. They've already got themselves 3 frags in this B bomb site, and VeryGames had stacked the site as well. 4 men in there. The 5th is now rotated back over, which is Kenny S. He's coming under all sorts of fire as well, but Tuss managed to pick up the frag on the very, very unlucky 5th Lauren, who just happened to be waiting for him. And now Kenny S, 3 versus 1 here. It's fairly straightforward. 1 versus 3. No gun, 11 health. He can do this.
Yeah.
I believe.
But again, like CS 1.6, it's a really bad round if you lose more than 1 rifle when you're a terrorist and playing an anti-eco. But the common thing you see here in CSGO, you do see teams dropping like 2 or 3 rifles. It's kind of common.
Yeah.
And the bizarre thing is when
ecos aren't they aren't easier in CSGO. They're much harder, aren't they?
Yeah.
You can't just take them for granted like you could in 1.6 to a certain degree.
Yeah, and the bizarre outcome of this is we're actually going to see more eco rounds, because if you win an eco round, it's going to force the other teams to have an eco round.
So we've now got the battle of the AWPs beginning. Kenny S, of course, AWPing for VeryGames through the hole in B. 5th Lauren is still AWPing for NiP. I know a number of people have said that he isn't the best AWPer in the world. I've seen him play some stunning games with the AWP, both in Counter-Strike Source and in Go.
Yeah, same here.
He is capable of it, there's no doubt about it. But I think there's got to be one slightly weaker player in a big team like this anyway, and inevitably it's the AWP guy if he isn't having a big game, because he's getting all his kills stolen away by people like GetRight, who just picks up another frag. He's now going to get some more out in mid. This is going to be a really nice round from GetRight. He's already got himself 2. Oh, just spun away there from the man who was coming through. We saw it on radar. He wouldn't have seen it, of course, and now goes back to protect the bomb site in a 4 versus 2. Freiburg almost out of health, only has 6, so I would imagine they'll probably try and save these 2 weapons.
Yeah, they're better.
Let's have a look here.
That's the only solid decision they can take.
Yeah, so both of them just waiting for some exit kills and save of weapons here, and that's all they can do here in round 4. And again, first gun round, almost exactly the same way round as they were on the first map. They've ended up losing it, so 4-0. Then partial, maybe they've got enough. I don't know, let's have a look. No, they've not got really enough for buying anything. So they're just going to have these 2 weapons on the next round, which is,
make that 1.
Yeah, well, make that. Oh, none, I was about to say. Nearly lost that one as well. But can help in ecos, having a weapon or 2. Oh, hello. Well, no, you know what? We are going to get the partial, so
some pharmacists.
Yes. And this is what we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah, it's high risk and high reward.
Yeah, a little bit risky for VeryGames, and actually, you know what? They've taken Khan's advice and they've decided that's what they're going to do. It's not worked out so far, though. Exist getting the opening frag. MBK's Mag picks up the frag of Exist as the revenge, though. So 4 versus 4. That'll give them a hint as to what VeryGames have done this round, too. Now, Freiburg, he's got to be careful now. He's down at 8 points of health as well.
NiP is a team, they are probably having the best communication between each other in those situations, 4-on-4 or 5.
You know what? That's a really good point as well, Patrick. Let's just listen in.
Exist is suggesting sneak out in the middle.
Jag smokar någonstans, vill ni se väl någonting?
Jag söker ut mitten.
Forrest gonna do a peek in the middle.
We'll get a little bit more of that, and thankfully we've got a Swede with us who can convert the Swedish, because mine's limited to 2 phrases.
One of few benefits of having me here.
No, there's plenty of benefits in having you here. Yeah, my Swedish is limited to 2 phrases, and both of them are rude.
Yeah, not suitable for this stream.
Not suitable for this stream.
Interesting still, you're probably able to hear how calm they are in this situation, because they've been in it so many tens of thousands of times probably.
Fifth Lamb actually got a bit sandwiched there by Kenny S and MBK.
And who is left?
It's Get Right in a 1 versus 3. Hello. Been here before, haven't we? Kenny S. Whoa. Into the bomb site goes Get Right.
I don't get the positioning from VeryGames in those situations. It's really, really bad. Well, I have to say that.
It was bad, but on the other hand, it needs a player of Get Right's quality to win that.
They're playing a very...
Now, a flash comes into those B tunnels. Get Right, I think he just about managed to pick up the bomb, but he's not going to have time to get it planted here, so just holding on to his weapon is going to be all he's allowed to do, and he is going to be able to get away with that at least. But VeryGames have put a round on the board finally.
Right.
Almost by default.
It's quite interesting looking at VeryGames. They seem to be one of those tactical teams trying to have like timed flashbangs, synced attacks, you know, and a lot of complex fakes. But when they end up in a situation, 2-on-2, when the bomb is just lying there somewhere and T is about to find it, they go into a very aim-heavy play, which doesn't make much sense at all. Because if they have the communication, the communication to be able to play such a tactical game they're doing in 5-on-5 situation, why can't they have it in those situations when the bomb is not down?
Looks like we are going to get an A push here. 2 men on short already. Smith's having a stonking round though, has managed to pick up those first 2 frags, and they're big frags. Forrest and Freiberg are gone.
And the bomb is in CT
Bomb is actually fallen off the ledge to the CT arch side of CT spawn, so that's made it even more awkward right now. And Scream is going to defend from one side. They're also going to have VeryGames from the other side as well. And I hear the AWP, but I don't see it. Smith is now got himself a double, and that last one will go to existence. So VeryGames with 2 rounds in a row.
Right, and that big mistake they did, dropping the bomb in the CT base, is obviously one of those things that can turn the match into the French-Belgian team's favor. But it seems like the Swedish team, NiP, they can't afford. They got some AKs.
Yeah, I saw a Galil in there as well. So yeah, you're right. It will be the final buy, unless they win this round, of course.
Yeah. And if you look at the money situation, they are not that rich still. VeryGames, that is, only winning 2 rounds. So it's Exist know this, and he takes the decision to buy, which I can agree with.
MBK starting things off nicely for VeryGames. He's got himself 1. They are trying to push down that long area. How on earth did Freiberg see him through that smoke? He's picked up the revenge. And we're at 4 versus 3 right now. Freiberg's actually very low on health here as Kenny S comes back towards that long A area. They'll know he's got AWP as well, and they'll also know that the team will have told them exactly how many people are trying to get through that long area. They are now backing away. Let's have a quick look and see what they're doing. In fact, 2 of them have gone back to spawn. Freiberg's now exiting that long door here. So they've got an opportunity to go through here and back round a B, or take on short A. Let's see what they do.
It's beautiful watching NiP playing in those situations. They stick together.
Kenny S through the door, gets the wall bang on Freiberg. Now a little grenade over the top will chip off a little bit more health. Can he get another one here? Through the smoke, didn't see the man walking through, but now decides that he's going to try and hit them through the door anyway. Now it's all down to Fifth Flower now. Last man standing here in a 4 versus 1 has had to switch away from his M4. Does pick up the first one. Can he get the second one here? In towards the bomb side he goes. 18 seconds remaining. Now has to reload on the stairs. That's super Captain Awkward right there. And Smith picks up the final kill round. We've now got a 1-round game, and VeryGames are very much back into this.
On a T-favored map as well. It's going to be interesting. And with more rounds going into the VeryGames camp, I think we're going to be more likely that we're going to see double AWPs, and that's a setup they can really demolish the opponent with. Fnatic is one example. Fnatic being up 8-0, lost a few rounds to VeryGames, and they were able to buy AWPs, and we had no idea how to attack them.
Got a bit of a rush here through mid from NiP. They've gone blasting in towards the B bomb site. Look at that! Freiburg and Forest both combined. They're both going to pick up a weapon here, and an AWP for Forest. Hello, here's some old school stuff. And the bomb is going to get planted in the B bomb site. Guns? Who needs guns, says NiP. Smith's the only man to put up anything in terms of resistance right now. And they've got MBK now coming in as well. Two of them in towards the bomb site. MBK now going absolutely huge. And before I can even get to him, somehow picks up a three-man. Smith's with the two. The defuse comes in. And what looked like a fantastic eco from Ninjas in Pyjamas has turned into a round win for VeryGames. We're tied up at 4-4.
That was the current Counter-Strike Go game in a nutshell, I think. The rounds can really switch balance. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, topsy-turvy like a seesaw.
I was like 99% sure that NiP will win that round, but I think maybe they went a bit too aggressive, trying to do exit frags. Powered by the first map win they have on Inferno. They felt a bit comfortable, but that punished them heavily now. Obviously, really great performance from the retaking CTs.
Indeed. Forest now on short. Just a quick word for you as well if you are watching. Thank you for tuning in. There's over 25,000 of you tuned in this afternoon to Counter-Strike Go. It's good to see the game getting support. And also a word for you, if you are watching and you're used to watching our streams, you'll know that Joe and I use Auto Director an awful lot. Unfortunately, we're on a zero delay CSGO server, which means the Auto Director sucks. It really does suck as well. It literally switches away as soon as you're about to get a frag, so you don't see anything. And I know that we haven't been able to see every single frag that you're used to seeing via the Auto Director, and I apologise for that, but we're doing the absolute best we possibly can, trying to get round to all the players. It's amazing, actually, how much I have used Auto Director. As Existence picks up a huge double at the end of the round, and VeryGames now go into the lead, 5-4.
Let's see what rifles we have from VeryGames now. How many AWPs?
Just checking in on the scores right now. Smith is having a big game. 13-6 for him. MBK 8-5 now. And average scores over on the NiP side, and it's been a long time since I had to say that.
XC still in the lead. Not only as in-game leader, but also score-wise right now.
That's huge as well, isn't it? When you get a player putting those sort of numbers up and he's in-game leader as well. Oh, hello. Kenny, yes. What's he up to now? Has already got himself one through mid.
Yeah, and that was Forrest also having a AWP. Interesting that NiP decides to switch around that role.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they're able to switch that around. They've got two fantastic AWPers in the team, so why not use them? I've seen Exist use AWP as well.
Yeah, but I kind of disagree, because I think one should be the
main guy.
The main guy, and one should be secondary, which allows you to throw in double AWPs on map like CT Train, or Dust 2 CT as well is great. Because I don't think you are making Fiflern that confident with the AWP if you sometimes give it to the hands of Forrest.
Yep. Can have a psychologically damaging effect on the player.
Yeah, but Forrest is by far the most all-round player on the planet, so he's really, really good with the sniper as well.
Oh dear, Scream right now is the best all-round player on the server. He's got himself two already. Is this going to be number 3? Oh, not quite actually. Freiburg's able to pick that frag up fairly easily. Kenny S now in with another one. Now look at this, Existence just rotates right behind Fiflern. Higher, 6-4 now, VeryGames, and they've got some confidence. You can probably hear them in the background because they are making an absolute racket. Let's just tune in and see what they've got to say. It's going to be in French, so bear with us.
Baguette.
Les gars, écoutez-moi, il faut mettre les roues en CT parce qu'en terreau, en CT, ils sont 10 fois plus forts. Ils sont 10 fois plus forts en CT. Attention à la 3-2B encore.
See, in any language, you can tell that they are now up for this. There is no doubt about the fact that they are psyched now to be ahead 6-4. We'll tune into the NiP channel in just a moment as well. Those team chats are all brought to you
not that good, Paul.
by RaidCall. No, it's not that good. I heard some baguette at the start, and that's all I heard. So here we go with MBK just trying to protect that A-bomb site. There is one man at Genef who I think got shot. Yes, he did. It was Exist who was trying to make his way in there. Oh, look at that, MBK. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then Fiflern now comes up huge. Where did he come from? Long A, and took off 2 of them from the A-bomb site. It's now a 2 versus 2. How pivotal could this round be? 6-4 currently to VeryGames.
Definitely in the favor of NiP now. They got the bomb right now. 100 health each. Kenny has with the sniper as well, but we have seen some crazy quick shots from him earlier.
The plant right now as well as he's now going to come under fire from Kenny S, who has that AWP in hand. I wonder if he has kept it. So let's see whether he can win this battle with that AWP.
I think he's consistently keeping the AWP. He's like Kugu.
Yeah, he is a little bit like that, but it's not the easiest one because you get caught like that.
Exactly.
Really good play. Nice crossovers put up there by both Get Right and Fifth Lounge, and they win the round for NiP. So instead of being 7-4, it's 6-5, and that's such a big round.
Look at the money situation. It's kind of easy to see that VeryGames, they're not that rich actually. They need to win this round.
Yeah, they do.
Like
$0.
They're
going to be in financial trouble at the end of this round otherwise.
But still, 6 round as a CT without the pistol round is quite good.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
And we can tell from the communication here and the screams after winning rounds, they never give up, these guys.
No, they definitely don't. We've already got some action kicking off here in round number 12. Smiths with the first one. Fifth Lounge again dropped down, the first man to die. So NiP now in a 4 versus 3. Forrest has given them that advantage now as Kenny S replies back. Freiberg into the site. Bomb not with him though. Exist though. Oh, look at this. This is cheeky. Exist actually saw the CT going back through T-spawn, and instead of going after the kill, as many of us amateur players would have done, he leaves him and sneaks back through long A. And that means the CTs now have no idea, although I think Kenny S he is looking at crossover, so waiting for any sign that someone will drop across there right now. Forrest has picked up another frag now in the mid area. Scream actually picked up the headshot. Kenny S, I don't know if he got any damage done, but it's now a 2 versus 2, and VeryGames have got to win this one, otherwise they're back on an eco. Scream and Kenny S versus Freiberg and Exist. 2 big players on both sides. Freiberg gets the first one. Kenny S comes back and replies. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Kenny S versus Exist for the round with the defuse possible here. No kid, of course. And now Exist is going to not get into the site. Is he? Oh my goodness, he's going to get the defuse. Oh my goodness.
Lord, you don't see that often. I like the decision making from Exist, deciding to step away from A long and go in catwalk instead, but he should probably have been a bit more aggressive there. He was lurking a bit too long. Key round.
No kit and an amazing long defuse, and Exist must be kicking himself right now. He's had an absolutely monstrous couple of games, nothing taken away from him. But he will look at that and just go, whoops, that was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
On a massive round for VeryGames. They've won 7-5. They're leading 7-5 now. It should have been 6-6, and they would have then been on eco. Massive round for VeryGames to lose. Kenny S now coming up again, huge. Another couple from him. Fifth Lounge replying back with the AWP. Is the last man standing here, and they're now staring at a definite loss on T-side Dust 2 for the first time in their very long CSGO career.
Yeah. It's a bit interesting to analyze the situation Exist was in, because even these players that have played tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of rounds of Counter-Strike, it's so rare you end up in such a situation where the CT going for full defuse. So we saw a bit of panic from Exist there. He was like, wasn't comfortable. Should I run now or should I just hold it back? And maybe Kenny S is just waiting for me in an angle. And then he just understood what is actually going on, but that was way too late. Probably a half second too late.
Yeah, I mean, it's split-second decisions, isn't it? That's the problem. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And
I have to say that Freiberg played it well, but he should have probably withdrawn from the action when he got the first frag to allow Exist to rotate better.
Oh, Kenny S point-blank range here. Gets a second brilliant quick switch over to the pistols, and a third for Scream, actually. He finished off the last one of the round. Kenny S got 2 in that round. So 9-5 now. NiP on a bye for the final round, of course. And they need this one, Patrick. They really do need this round.
This is not amazing when you win the pistol round. They were up 4-0 as well, I believe. So it's many rounds has gone to VeryGames now.
Yep, nine rounds to VeryGames without winning pistols, and yet they're still going to go into the half up by at least 3, possibly 5. Amazing. Yeah, it's a fantastic comeback. They rolled over pretty easily in map 1, but here in map 2, they are going to step up to NiP's level. They're going to make me eat my words about being rubbish on Dust 2 as well. Was NiP's map choice was Dust 2, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. I think that's probably after seeing them play a Nexus twice and lose. They aren't as bad as they're made out to be. Smith now get himself a second of the round. He opened things up now early on. Forrest and Freiberg now in towards the bomb side. Freiberg gets up with a double now to make it a 2 versus 2, having been a 4 versus 2. And bomb is going to get planted here. Exists with a really perfect little flash over the top. And it's going to run out very quickly. Needed to move in quicker than that. It doesn't seem to matter, though. He's going to pick up the frag on the first one. And NBK comes in for the headshot on Freiberg. And VeryGames are heading into half-time at 10-5. Don't adjust your sets.
Yeah, who would have believed that when the score was 4-0 like 15 minutes ago?
Yeah.
And I think losing a lot of close key rounds as well, and that obviously hurts their confidence. Interesting to see now how Exist as the leader that haven't really been put to the test that much, considering how one-sided the most sides for them have been in the past, besides the fall to Virtus Pro in Kiev a week back or two.
Let's just take you through the scoreboard right now. Smith 19 for 11 in the first half. Kenny S 14 and 10. NBK 13 and 8. Scream 10 and 10. Existence not having the greatest of days, 6 and 8. On the NiP side, I can't even believe I'm going to be saying these scores. Freiberg 12 for 12. Forrest 9 for 14. Get Right 7 for 12. Exist 11 and 12. And Fifth Lauren 8 for 12. Can't remember the last time I saw Get Right with the lowest amount of frags on a Dust 2 map on T side. I have to emphasise that. It is a T bias map. It's not massively biased, but it's 9-6 every time. That's what you want from it. And they're 10-5 down. They're net 9 rounds out right now. And we are heading into the second half here. If you are just joining us, welcome to the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup semi-final number 2. Fnatic already in the grand finals, waiting for VeryGames or Ninjas in Pyjamas. Ninjas in Pyjamas won the first map 16-3, very straightforward on Inferno. Map number 2 is going the way of the VeryGames side from France and Belgium right now as they lead 10-5 from the first half. We get set up for this second half. Let's have a quick look and see what we've got right now. Kenny S is mini AWPing without an AWP from Spawn. NBK and Existence just making their way through mid, and Smith sort of hanging around bottom B, but the bomb right now over here with Scream would make it look like it might just be a B hit eventually, unless Forrest goes all risky and decides he wants to pop into that B tunnel and take on one of the VeryGames players, but nothing doing so far.
Yeah, very standard setup here. Fifth line in CT base. He's kind of trying to hear if they attack catwalk. Now the B push is coming in.
Yeah, I have picked up that first one. It was a combination of Fifth Lauren and Freiberg. And Forrest caught out a little bit, actually. Didn't hear anyone going towards the B bomb side. And Scream now can get the bomb planted. 3 versus 3. They haven't got the health advantage here, but
you just need the next kill and they're going to win it.
They've got the bomb, and as Khan rightly said, they just need one more kill, and they've pretty much won the round. Now, where's the take-back coming back from?
It's interesting, they're not throwing any flashbangs. Instead, just going to pop
nothing
in.
At all. I don't think they've got anything left. They haven't. Indeed, they start things off Scream with a double inside that bomb site. Fantastic from him. He's going to get a third here, surely. He does. That's phenomenal pistol play from Scream. And VeryGames lead 11 and 5, and they've converted the pistols as well. Fantastic round from them.
Was it like a potential awkward situation there? Because the VeryGame player were like aiming in the walls or on the floor because they thought for sure that these flashbangs are coming in. Whereas Getra just sneaked in the pit. But Scream, he did his job there.
He certainly did. Now I've got a quick push in towards the bomb site this time round. Smith and Existence just blowing them away right now. Look at this. Welcome map was out there. I don't know what it is, welcome map for Swedish, but it was definitely out from NiP in the B bomb site. And have a free bomb plant, Ninjas in Pyjamas. And they're going to have to be more than ninjas this time round to get out of this round. 3 of them left, make that 2. Fifth Lauren had even got out of CT spawn. I'm not sure he had, you know. Exist now is going to be through the double doors and should be decked here. But wow, actually he was concentrating on short and got taken out. So they're just trying to pick up a couple of guns. That's all they want to get now, and they're not going to get away with that either. Get Right now, last man alive in a 1 versus 4. Pistols only. Will pick up the first kill and not the second one. Kenny S cleaning things up nicely. And that will be a massive lead for VeryGames right now, 12-5. And let's just see what NiP do.
They're buying.
They are buying, so this is going to be interesting. We've got
a sniper.
Mr. Forrest with a scout, and I haven't seen that for a while. Kenny has missed that first shot. Let's just see what Mr. Lindbergh can do with this.
Magic.
And he can rip the head off Existence. That's what he can do with it. Yeah, and you heard the scream from him as well. Smoke down in B right now, so there's no doing anything in here. And they're going to be a little bit more circumspect, I think, after that. They won't want to go rushing in. Get right now backing up. Forest in mid has picked up the second kill of the round. And suddenly NiP come alive. Exist now adds a third. They haven't lost a single man here off this early partial bite. Scream now. Kenny S, the last two alive in the B tunnels, coming under attack from all of the ninjas in pajamas who are just rushing through.
But can they? It's a minute left.
Well, it's a long time to hold this.
Because they don't want to change the scout to AWP for next round.
They
and the continuation of this key frag there though, because eventually NiP going to be a bit scared attacking them too much here. But they're very experienced, so they realize like if they only can get one rifle off or kill both of them, that would be amazing, even if we lose all of our weapons. Obviously not lose all of them because they're going to lose, but at least 3 of them.
Smart bit of play here by Getright as well. He realises that he knows where they are, he's called for backup, he's not going to rush in and try and be the hero.
But the backup is not coming in.
Now here comes the flashes, so I think he might have got a little bit bored, but he's playing it long. He doesn't have to rush in there. Scream's waiting for him, and he knows that he's going to have to go face-to-face with 20 seconds here, and plays that safe again on the ledge, using that as cover.
But I don't agree how NiP is playing this in bombsite B and the tunnels, because they should go aggressive from there as well. Of course, they would probably go down one guy to Kenny's AWP.
Let's have a quick listen in to NiP.
Probably.
Counter-terrorists win.
6. They're just celebrating a bit, saying they did a great job.
Very calm in there, though, isn't it? I mean, there's just no fuss going on whatsoever.
They did a safe decision there, but maybe not the ultimate one, I'd say.
So 12-6, and that round for me won by the scout of Forest. That was the opening kill of the round. It got the pick, and smoke deployed, but late deployment from the CT side. Kenny S did get a couple of shots off in there, but to no avail. And will now cover short, and Forest has gone back to a more standard AK this round, as expected. And this is interesting now. Nicely poised at 12-6.
We have a few pistols in the hands of the VeryGames players.
Yeah, indeed. MBK, Existence as well. But Kenny S still with that AWP. Dangerous in his hands. And Forest covering that mid-area now.
The tactics I would like to see from VeryGames now is either a B push or a cat push. And they're sticking together, loads of them. And one of them are playing at the flank.
So we've got that cat area
working with Kenny's AWP or Scream's aim. That would be the key here, I think. But if they spread out too much, I think NiP are going to win this round.
So here we go then, into the mid-area, through the double doors. Kenny S checks once to the left, once to the right. They've got a man coming through the smoke here, and I don't think they're going to get away with this. No, they're not. Forest and Exist, just too strong for them right now. Are dropping them like flies. And Ninjas in Pajamas are back in the game, 12-7.
Yeah, a bad call. That's the only way I can put it, really. They know the money situation. They know what arsenal the NiP players have. They don't have too many grenades and they have some FAMASs, whereas they have like one AK, one Galil, and one AWP. Why are you not sticking together? Because if a player die with the AK, you need to have the pistol player there to be able to pick it up. Go cat, go B, but don't mix middle. Stupid round.
I like it when you say stuff like that.
I only started.
Don't hold back.
It could be worse than this.
It's all good. This one's going to be a fairly straightforward eco bash, indeed very straightforward eco bash. We didn't even get to see any of the frags. Forest with 3, Exist with 2. Straightforward round for NiP, and now we're on a bye for VeryGames. So let's see what they can do. They've lost a few rounds in a row here, so they won't want to lose.
They invited NiP to a dance now.
They did. I mean, this is, you know, we talk about momentum a lot in this game, and it's never truer than on Dust 2 for me. It's all about getting confidence and on a roll, and when you do that, you can be a really difficult team, no matter who you are, whether you're NiP, Fnatic, VeryGames, doesn't matter who you are. Definitely. If you get on a roll, the confidence just breeds more confidence. We saw it yesterday with the Nexus game where Husey had that 1v3, and it completely changed the complexity of the whole map.
That's the beautiful thing of the game, I think. First frag goes to NiP. Existence going down.
Kenny S now in mid is going to come face to face with Forest AWPing, and he's already picked up one. That looked like it was right on the money actually, but didn't quite connect with Smith's head. So not a second one just yet, and he's teasing him right now. He's just trying to bait him into a shot, but then hops onto short and tags Forest down to 41 health. Meanwhile, MBK picks up a kill on Exist. So we're at 4 versus 3. Make that 3 versus 3. Now as Scream equalises things back up. MBK on with 3 points of health right now, so he's going to be disposed of pretty quickly by Fifth Larry. Freiberg gets rid of Scream now, and it's a 3 versus 1. Smith's now going to have to go massive. Does pick up the first one. It's a 1 versus 2 now. 35 seconds remaining. Bomb in hand. Has an opportunity to get inside the bomb site. What on earth was he doing? Not checking all of the site before putting the bomb in his hand. 12-9.
Yeah, lovely play from Forrest there as well, showing his experience. He played the different way that you see VeryGames are playing, because they're trying to stay in the bomb spot and going for the kill, whereas Lindberg, he puts himself in a situation he has 2 options. One is to take the first peek, potentially killing him, or withdrawing a bit and waiting back up, instead of making this go into a one-on-one with the plant for VeryGames. So great play from Forrest.
Hope you're enjoying the professional insight that we've got from Khan. And now retired as a player, of course, but very much still in the scene, managing the Fnatic team. And here with the Counter-Strike Go team from Fnatic.
That's right.
I heard someone say earlier on, Fnatic is still Australian, right? Yeah, it's a weird question, but I do know where they're coming from. It is a registered Australian company.
That's right.
But it's not an organisation from Australia as such.
Oh, mostly European.
Based in Europe, yeah.
Players from like 11 countries in 80 divisions. We're seeing a tactical eco, by the way, from VeryGames now. They're using the time to talk, even opening up the round. It's pretty amazing.
Strauss in often, actually. Mouse Sports used to do it a lot. Sam used to do it a lot. You've done it a lot, actually, in the past. I seem to remember. 1.6, you would often just, you know what, chill, don't go out of spawn, just sit here, let's just talk through some ideas.
Yeah, but actually these days you have the option to go for a tactical timeout, like 3 minutes. But I guess people are stuck in the old patterns, just talk it through during
you know, sometimes you break the momentum if you start doing proper timeouts. It's more like you can just spend 20, 30 seconds talking about it. And they've managed to get the bomb planted over at A. I don't think they're going to get much change out of this, because there are 3 men rushing towards that side right now. Indeed, actually Forrest gets rid of Existence, so easy defuse in the end. Expensive round though, lost a couple of players, got a bomb plant, so reasonable in terms of cash, but they really need to start converting that cash into round wins. It's 12-10 right now.
Totally, but this kind of cash they put in their pockets after planting the bomb is going to make sense going into late game here. We're kind of reaching the latter part of the mid game, 12-10 right now, and I think VeryGames definitely need a round now. Otherwise NiP is going to go like the train here.
Forrest starting things off AWP to AWP with Kenny S, and Kenny's not getting any change out of Forrest right now. Oh, nearly through the doors. Existence has actually picked up the AWP from Kenny.
He just didn't exist.
He didn't exist and got rid of Get Right this time. So 1 for 1. And we're still at even Stevens at 4 versus 4. Now, Forrest coming back to mid here. Just want to check and see.
Being aggressive.
Yeah, he's trying to force the issue here. Smith and Scream are in that mid area now. They are looking towards that mid. Existence now coming there with smoke deployed. And Forrest is going to try and make a very quiet rotation away from that mid area. Smith and Scream still not looking now. Are they going to go short? Yeah, it does look as if they're going to go for a short here.
We have 2 CT AWPs here just waiting for them.
Yeah, they've got Fifth Laren and Forrest both set up with AWPs inside the bomb site. Now they're going to be spotted here. Forrest picks up the first one. Can he get the second? Yes, he can! Fantastic from him again. Exist now back in. They've got MBK, the last man alive here. Stuck down the long A. Somehow picks up a headshot on Exist from absolutely no idea where. And Freiberg and Fifth Lauer, the last 2 alive, should be able to shut this one down. 25 seconds remaining, no bomb in hand, and a 2 versus 1 advantage.
For whatever reason, NBK seems to think that someone is lurking to the right here. Which
he does. That's an awkward shot there from Fifth Lauer. Oh, much better pistol work, though. And the gap is reduced to 1 round. 12-11 now. And VeryGames have lost their mojo.
Definitely. We saw 2 textbook plays from NiP there. First we had Forrest, of course, get it spotted by the T's, but he decided instead of just being too defensive, I'm just gonna go for kills here, because I got Exist waiting around the corner, and if I go down, Exist gonna kill them, which he did. And the second thing was we saw a double angle, double position from NiP in the 2-on-1 situation. Something VG are failing badly to do, playing together in those situations.
Yeah, lack of team play is quite shocking considering how good it was earlier. particularly in the first half. But so far, nothing doing for them, and NiP have come rolling back into this game. Now just one round behind. They have the advantage in round 24 here as well, thanks to the work of Exist, having gotten rid of the danger man Scream, who really hasn't been able to get hold of this game so far. And VeryGames now coming in for the action. Has got himself one, and might get himself a second. Actually, that one was stolen away by GetRight as they block up that B tunnel area, and we've just got MBK left alive here, and it's 5v1. MBK, and he's not going to even pick off one of them. VeryGames with the last kill. We're tied up now. It's 12-12, and Ninjas in Pyjamas need 4 more rounds to go through to the grand final.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on VeryGames right now. Failing miserably to do synchronized attacks, instead of dying one by one, ending up in those 3-on-5 situations. And once again, they're not successful with adapting to the game NiP is playing. What I would like to see from them is like, okay, forget about the AWP, it doesn't really work for us right now. Let's go together with AKs.
Just hold that thought, because GetRight's gone all aggressive on short here. And done what we used to call in 1.6 a harryman. And picked himself up a frag. There's a blast from the past. Wonder if you can remember that one in the Twitch chat.
Oh, I certainly do.
Very famous for his A rushes on CT side, Dust 2 on short.
All-ins.
All-ins, absolutely all-ins. And he used to pick up kill after kill after kill. It was remarkable. He used to think, well, how is he still doing it? They must know he's going to do that. And that's what GetRight just did.
Everything work against domestic players.
So 3 versus 5 right now. Oh, look at this. GetRight. Oh, God, pull the knife out. Oh, just waited for Smith to come into his crosshair, and they had no idea he was going to be there. And that's what Khan was talking about earlier. He's like a little ninja on his own, just decides to run around the map wherever he feels comfortable. And oh, that's a bit of an awkward flash, though, Mr. GetRight. That was
doesn't matter.
Not the best of flashes I've ever seen in my life, but you're right. It's not going to make any difference. Existence is now the only Lone Ranger for VeryGames, and they are now staring at defeat in this game unless they can pull out some magic, and they are going to need some magic, trust me. They haven't actually killed a Ninjas in Pyjamas player for 2 rounds now. All 5 of them have survived.
I think we have seen 5 flawless rounds for NiP this time around.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and a proof for that is obviously you go tab and you see the money situation. They can afford to buy the remaining rounds, whereas VeryGames, if they win 1 round, of course that's great, placing them at 13th round, but then they're going to need to win the next one. Otherwise, the money situation is going to be in the favor of NiP.
So I love the whole, I'm still just seeing the messages on the screen. VeryGames survived for 3 rounds in a row, you know. I'm glad that the game gives us those stats. I'm just joking. So, 13-12. AWP will now be in the hand of Kenny S. And Forest, and Kenny S wins the AWP battle this time round.
I think it's 2-1 right now in Kenny S' favor.
Well, I don't know, because Forest had that scout shot earlier on, didn't he? So, I don't know. I'm going to call it fairly even thus far, but it's been a good battle. We've enjoyed it so far. And Kenny S gives his team the pick. Now, they've got the chance now to go wherever they want. But look at the way that NiP are controlling this in terms of the way they're set up right now. They know they've lost a man, so they have to spread themselves a little thinner. And they've done it perfectly so far. Yeah. Exist on short, VeryGames covering long doors, GetRight mid, and VeryGames holding the back of the corner by car inside bomb site on B.
I think if VeryGames just sticks together now, they should be able to win this. But you see, one guy's going down.
Yeah, if they stick together was the key part of that. Well, Existence has got himself the revenge on GetRight, so they've got themselves a 4 versus 3 here. And Exist inside the bomb site has got himself a kill over at A. VeryGames also coming back towards the A site, but they've got 3 men in the B tunnels right now. Flash goes over the top. That'll alert VeryGames that they're coming into the site now. 30 seconds remaining. It seems to be the key point of going into the site. Kenny, oh, he missed the first shot. It was a crucial AWP shot, and VeryGames nailed him. And they've now got a 3 versus 2, and bomb is planted, but NiP have got a chance to take this back. Good exchange of weapons for VeryGames now. He's with VeryGames. They've got to be quick here. They can't hang around too long, but they've got to wait for Exist to rotate all the way back.
They're also going to have flashbangs here, so I think this is going to go to NiP.
So, 2 men remain. Existence picks up the first frag now. It's a 2 versus 2. VeryGames equalises it back up. Now it's a 1 versus 1. VeryGames versus Scream. Who's your money on? Usually it's going to be Scream, but can VeryGames go huge? No, he can't. It's all tied up again at 13-13. And VeryGames has to learn how to clutch a round.
Yeah, he was trying to change weapon or something in the gate, and he probably got a bit panicked because the bomb was ticking, and he probably went tab and see, oh my god, I'm up against Scream, who is kind of notorious for his headshots.
Certainly is. 13-all. Game not done just yet. That momentum broken finally by the French Belgians.
Yeah, first round in a very long while.
Yeah, at least 7 in a row.
But it's very essential now that they're going to get this one as well, otherwise their money situation going to be kind of miserable. We're seeing KNS with $1,300, but the rest of the VG players are on like $0 or $50. Not enough to buy any weapons for the next round in case of a defeat here.
Yeah, just going backwards and forwards between KNS and Forest. They've got a double up setup here right now as well, so not risky, but you know they've got to make sure they win this round. NiP for Flaren with AWP in A and Forest with AWP in B, and nothing doing so far. 45 seconds remaining. There's a couple of shots raining down into that B corridor right now. MBK and Smith and Scream all been tagged right now, but KNS picks up that first kill on Forest. Huge kill for him as well. Freiburg replying back. KNS then misses the second chance shot on Freiburg.
Oh my god,
then
they're stuck in rotation now as well.
Frash, and they're now stuck. They've got to go for this B bomb site. No opportunities whatsoever to get in there. Existence picks up the first frag. Now it's a 3 versus 3. Exist waiting to go inside the bomb site now from B tunnels, and those 3 men now trying to race through in towards the bomb site. Get right goes huge. He picks up the first one inside the site. It's now a 2 versus 2. Down to 8 seconds. KNS, fantastic AWP shot from him. Couldn't nail the second one though. They're running out of time. Hit bomb has been planted, and CT is now under pressure. Exist and Get Right versus Existence and KNS. Oh, fantastic shot from KNS. And picks up the second one. Oh my god, that is absolutely phenomenal from KNS, and he wins the round for VeryGames and puts them ahead 14-13.
That was just incredible. Existence just stood there. He didn't know what to do. He had like 6 health, whereas Kenny went bananas with his sniper. And I would like to see how many bullets he had left in the
I don't... Oh, hello, KNS. Absolutely destroying it right now at exactly the right time. Through the smoke in mid-doors. Freiburg take a seat this time, and VeryGames now have a man advantage at 14-13. He has gone absolutely Captain Monster time for KNS.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Paul, that it was like one of the last bullets he had.
I'm pretty sure he'd almost run out.
Because he was missing a few shots there.
Extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary.
He's very low now as well. I think this can definitely go to VG if they stick together now. If they fail here, they don't really deserve the win. They should have this round. Obviously, they don't know about the health situation from Exist, but having 5 guys remaining with the momentum from winning 2 rounds, T does too. A team of this caliber should definitely win this round.
Yep, Get Right, they're waiting, and senses perhaps that...
I like this play. 4 catwalk, 1 long. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It is perfect. Now, can Get Right do anything about this pushing towards the bomb site? They're going to wait for the first man on the corner. Good play from Get Right. Gets the first and the second here as well. Now, KNS coming on a draw. 3 in a row from Get Right. He goes massive. Fifth Lara picks up a 4th, and suddenly it's turned again, and VeryGames are now in trouble thanks to some brilliance from Get Right. It's 14-13. It's about to be 14-all. We're all tied up yet again, and the Ninjas just won't lie down. They need 2 to play in the final.
That was horrible.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
In that situation, they went too aggressive. That's about it, really. They could have just planted the bomb.
Jag kommer B. Jag går bil.
They're ready for it.
Yeah, they're ready. The funny thing is as well, we're getting excited about it, but they're not. They're very, very calm in there, but now they're going to have to have lots of calmness because VeryGames have overturned a 5 versus 4 to make it a 4 versus 3. Bomb is about to go down from Smiths here. And Exist just waiting to try and get into the bomb site right now.
This is so epic.
They've got a good setup here, VeryGames, inside that B bomb site. It's a tight one. but they've got 4 men covering it. Now, as long as they don't do anything stupid here, they should be able to make this 15-14. Here come the flashes, raining down on top of them. Into the bomb site they go. Exist picks up the first one. The revenge frag is quick, though. Viflaren then gets one. Suddenly it's turned to a 2 versus 1. Kenny on his own now at the back of the site has got to go huge. Won't be able to. Get Right gets 2, and the bomb defuse comes in from Viflaren, and Ninjas in Pajamas move to match point in the semi-final.
Yeah, left me quite speechless again here, because
crazy.
It always sucks to lose rounds, but it sucks more when you're very close to win them, and you should win them.
The 4-man setup they had.
2 of them now.
Yeah, and the 4-man setup they had inside that B bomb site was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It just took a little bit of magic from Get Right.
I'm not sure which player it was, but this guy with the P90 there, he had so many hard decisions to take.
Yeah,
Should I cover the gate or should I cover the pit? And he was left in some kind of mix between them.
Money issues as well for VeryGames in this final round.
Yeah.
They've had to buy a Galil and nothing from MBK and 3 AKs. That's all they could afford. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the equation, look at that. Forest with AWP in hand. Plenty of M4s around the team as well. And this is Ninjas in Pajamas' chance here to win this round. They won't get a better opportunity to clean things up right now. Exist starts things off nicely. He's got the first one. Existence replying back. They're now at 4 versus 4, and they've lost Exist from the run.
I would say they did a mistake there. After the kill Exist, they should just went for it.
Well, they've got 3 men on short right now.
They allow the rotation to go back. Yeah, depends what decision they're taking next
very
now.
slow indeed, but Freiberg clips off the head. Now he's picked up 1. And it's now a 4 versus 3. Just 3 more VeryGames players to find, and the Swedes will come through a really big scare on Dust 2. 25 seconds remaining. They've got to start moving any moment now. They know it as well. They've made the rotation all the way across to the other side of the map, and I don't think this is going to work out for them. They already know they're going to make their way there. Get Right here can finish things off for them nicely. Does pick up the first one. Last man alive now is going to be Scream, and he's got to go 2 versus 1 with 9, 8, 7. Not going to have enough time to plant here, and it's not going to be a round win. How on earth are they going to lose this one? Does pick up the frag. Does he? No, he doesn't. Doesn't get the plant either. What a disappointing way to end the game. NiP are your winners, 16-14 in the final game, the final round of the game, and a 2-0 victory overall. Patrick, your closing thoughts of an exciting end to the game?
Massive failure of adapting to NiP's style, and obviously losing those crucial moments. I think it's lack of communication or experience. They've been quite close before to beat NiP, but now they were really close to beat them in one map here, and that's 2. But the rounds they lost, it was just like, it's probably down to a lot of bad individual performances as well in those key moments.
Yeah, we had Train at ESWC 16-14. It was almost 8 months ago now. That was the closest VeryGames had come, and since then they've never got more than 11 rounds in any map they've played against NiP, so they'll take something out of this.
Yeah, they should.
Played really well. They played really well on Dust 2, but just too many mistakes in the end, and we said that might be the difference, didn't we, at the start of the game, is they needed to have a flawless game in order to win. If they had been flawless, hadn't lost that 4v3, hadn't lost the 2v4 earlier on in the game as well, that would have been their map.
Yeah, it was really small things that mattered today. But yeah, more determination, like sticking together, attacking catwalk together, instead of spreading yourself out. You saw like Freiberg picking up a frag in the middle. Totally useless for VeryGames. Like, why did it even end up in that situation? In my book, if I was the game leader, Exist got the first frag on catwalk, but they repeated it. They took Exist down. If they just took that split-second call there, let's attack, let's plant the bomb and get into another situation. We lost 2 of them already.
Just been a bit more positive sometimes.
Yeah.
When they got those sort of...
They just tried to wait.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You guys, when you were 1.6, and NiP in particular in CSGO, are very much pick and go.
Yeah.
And pick and go. And it's very straightforward CS, but it works. It's effective because you don't allow the other team to do any rotation. You don't allow them to get back in the game. VeryGames are very static, aren't they? They kind of get the pick, and then you think, oh, they're going to go, and then they don't go.
I think it's a bit of a leadership issue there. They're probably a bit afraid to upset the leader and his way of playing. Whereas
have you heard Existence shouting? No, I have.
Well, we tuned in here before hearing French, which is not my best language, obviously. But yeah, I would actually let more people do in-game calls in those important situations. You know, you don't really see, you cannot really know exactly what a player, like the guy that killed Exist.
Yeah.
If he would just say like, let's go for it. This is a call that everybody should appreciate. they're going to get the bomb down for sure because the rotation is completely off. We have Forrest withdrawing from the middle, have AWP in CT base. What can he do with that? Okay, you have people along. Getright probably lost somewhere on the map, but he's going to kill him from behind later on. But yeah, instead, they withdrawn a little bit to the middle, got killed. Frybit did a very important kill there, and then ending up going long when it's 25 seconds left. Like, he didn't even manage to plant the bomb.
No, and that was what I meant at the end.
I've never seen that before in that situation.
No, it's a really disappointing way to lose a match.
It is.
By running out of time. It was almost awkward the way it happened in the end. Thank you very much for joining us, by the way. It's very kind of you to come over and help us out. We're going to have Warclown back for the grand final. This guy's got some work to do in that grand final. So let's talk about that while we've got a little bit of time. The guys are just getting ready to get an interview with Sean. But before we get to that, grand final, Fnatic versus NiP.
Another grand final.
All Scandinavian affair as well.
Starting to look like it did in the glory days of 1.6.
My point exactly, yeah. In the early days, it was just all Danes and Swedes and Norwegians and you know, a few people from Finland.
But what I think is
ridiculous.
Great, what's great with CSGO right now, we are seeing activation, great teams from countries that weren't that prominent in maybe in CSS, but not in CS 1.6 at least. Like we have a British team now, and Nexus they are pure right. The French team here, the Belgian mix. Yeah, just great if we could see the Ukrainians picking up a bit, the Poles-esque as well. We got so much talent out there, so much legacy in history, and it's just like amazing to watch those games.
So I've got two questions for you before we go over to Sean.
Sure.
First one is, I suppose the obvious one. How do you match up against NiP now? I mean, you haven't played them that much, but...
Yeah, we're definitely the underdogs, I think.
Yeah.
We really need those early rounds, because I think we are starting to play a bit bad when we get those... Like the rounds that VG lost in the end there, if we get them against us, we have really hard to get up on our feet again and play from there. I'm trying to do my best to pump them up, just looking at every round as a new round, a new opportunity. But I mean, if NiP continue to play like they do, it's going to be really, really tough. We need some luck on our side, I think.
Did you see anything on Dust 2 when VG was starting to get that momentum and really build a good lead? Did you see anything in there where you thought, actually, then these NiP guys are human, and actually they're making some mistakes, and we can probably...
No, that's something you have to remind yourself. They are like by no means any robots that shoot. I mean, I think aim-wise, NiP is probably not the best team in the world. VG, they have a very aim-based game, obviously a lot of strategies as well. What I think they haven't found their way of playing, the ultimate way they could play, giving Scream more freedom, for example. Back to NiP, yeah, I do see weaknesses for sure. Forrest being very aggressive with his AWP, I think Freeze is a better sniper than him.
Hold on. Wait, what?
I think Freeze is a better sniper than Forrest. Yeah.
I'm just trying to stir it up, actually. I'm just trying to get the community out there to go, Khan said.
Yeah, but also weaknesses on Catwalk, I think, is still not used as it should be in CSGO. I think people are trying to go too complex, jumping down the CT base and such. Going back to the roots, going old school, plant a bomb and see what happens.
You heard it from Khan first. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys have enjoyed his insights throughout the whole game. It's been fantastic to have his expert analysis alongside. As I said, he's a bit busy for the grand final, so we'll be losing him sadly. But we will be getting Warclown back, so that's fantastic. And now we are going over to Sean, who has both team captains from VeryGames and, of course, the victors, Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Thank you very, very much, Paul. I am joined by Freiberg and MBK. Let's get stuck into this. It was an absolutely phenomenal match. As walking around here, I heard people say, this is awesome, several times. I hope that you guys at home enjoyed it. But of course, I have to start off by saying commiserations. I know it's gotta hurt. How are you feeling?
It's just a lot of things at the moment. We just play super badly on Inferno. I just have no words about that. And on the student map should have been ours. Even though we're just an excellent team, like as everyone says and knows. But you know, we watched their games, we knew pretty much how they were playing, and they did what we were expecting, and we didn't manage to counter because we just didn't trust ourselves. I'm just angry about that. I don't know if it's pressure or whatever it is, but we just didn't play the game we told ourselves to do, and I mean, that's a lot of things. I'm just disappointed and angry at the moment.
I can understand, but obviously as somebody who's impartial, to see that game going down to the wire, being such a close one, being so excited, is there something that you take away from that? Is there something that you say you learn from it?
I think we're going to be happy once we're going to beat them in a best of 3. You know, one map is just one map. That's just one game. You have to win 2 to just advance in the competition. as I said, I don't really have words at the moment. I'm just like disappointed, and yeah, that's just sad.
Understandably so, but thank you so much. You really put up a great fight. And of course, Freiburg, I guess, congratulations. You're on your way to the final. How do you feel?
Feel really good, especially about us too. We were down so much in the first half, but we knew if they could play good as CT, we can as well. So I don't know, we were just pumped up before the second half, and even though we lost the pistol round, we did a full eco, and I don't know, we just managed to win the very important first buy round, and after that we just kept on rolling, getting our economy up and playing as good as we can, and yeah, it managed to put out well in the end.
Well, like I said, congratulations, and obviously now you are getting geared up for the final. What are you going to be taking into the game this afternoon?
I don't really know. Like, we know we play our game, and we have a really strong gameplay. And I think if we just play our game and we don't do as many mistakes as we did on this two, I think we can win pretty easily. But we'll see. I mean, Fnatic is a strong team. No doubt, but I don't know, it just feels like we are really strong at the moment. We have trained a lot since we got back from Kiev, where we lost our first games against Virtus Pro, so I don't know, yeah, we really want to get back on the throne again as number one.
And do you think that momentum is going to be something that you're really going to use in this last match of the day?
Of course, I mean, why not? We have won 2 games here now, both with 2-0, so we're just going to keep on playing and play as good as we can, and I think if we play our A game, we will win, but we'll see.
Confidence is high.
Yeah, of course, why shouldn't it be?
Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. Well, guys, thank you so much, obviously, for playing. But before you step away, I'd like to pass over to Melly, who's got some questions from the viewers at home. And, of course, all the viewers at home can get stuck in. Reach out to us on the RaidCall channel 1997, on Twitter, in the Twitch chat. Melly's there for you, questions, and, of course, they get asked.
Yeah, it was really hard to get those questions together because the whole Twitch chat was exploding the last round. It was so tense, and you could see by what the guys in the chat were writing. So I've got a few questions. I was like copy-pasting a whole page of the Twitch chat to grab some questions. It was madness. So first question is for VeryGames. How does it feel to lose against NiP?
Well, I already answered about that before, but as always, it's just kind of a disappointment. We've been practicing about the game, practicing about against their games. We just can't manage to beat them at the moment. I don't know what's wrong. We're gonna try to walk on it like again and again, but it's just every single time it's gonna be disappointing to just come up like short against them.
So why does it seem like that you choke in every deciding moment? Is it the missing routine?
Yeah, well, when we watched Virtus Pro playing against them, that was the closest rounds were won by Virtus Pro, and pretty much that won them a game. And every single clutch situation, every single flash or kill that we're missing, it's going to change the whole round, and as I said, it's going to change the whole game. On Inferno, for example, we just got smashed when we should have put up more rounds. Some 2-on-2s, some clutches that we lost. That's just, the momentum and the pressure makes
bad luck. And
them,
bad luck,
kind of bad luck. That's everything together.
Okay, thank you. Next question is for NiP. After being down so much of the first half of the game, how do you rally your team and get back into the game and climb your way back on the top of the game? So how do you manage that?
I mean, if they can, even if a team wins 15-0 to you, you have to imagine that you can do the same because they did to you. So I mean, we know we are a really strong team, and we just told ourselves we are good as CT does too. We just play our game, and if we do it, we will win. Just keep on going, get the runs going, and get the economy up and running. And after that, everything just worked out as it did.
Okay, and when a game is as close as this one, how do you stay calm? Why do you keep saying yourself?
I mean, for me, I'm going to take it for me, but I'm just wondering about, it's just a game. You're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's just the nicknames which are changing pretty much. We've been playing Nexus yesterday, and we've been playing NiP today. I mean, you're still playing the same Counter-Strike, you're still playing the same, clicking and you know, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
So you just don't have to take the nicknames off your man and just play your game and I mean just go for it. That's your time.
Okay, I see. And you?
Can you repeat the question?
I can. When a game is as close as the last one, what do you keep saying yourself to stay calm and concentrated and keep on playing?
I can say for myself, in the beginning, when going to big lands, of course you get like excited and you get a little bit shaky when having those close games, close rounds. But I think it's much about routine. You learn that, I mean, it is a game, but I mean, we try to take it as serious as we can, and I think it's only about routine. How many times you've been there, done it, and I mean, we have been around now since Forest has been around since 2005. So, for example, and I mean, I've been around since a few years back as well. But it's only about routine. You have to think calm, like stay calm, don't get shaky, and play our game. Get confident.
Okay, thank you. No more questions. Couldn't grab more.
Thank you so much, and again, commiserations, but please do stick around because we love having you here, and I'm sure the guys at home do too. We'll see you in the final. Very good luck, sir. And for now, we're going to go off and watch another one of those tasty videos. Stick around. Lots more Counter-Strike for you here at the RaidCall EMS1. Don't go away.